How's it going, guys? It's so good to see you. Thanks so much for waiting. We got started a little bit later than you thought because it's a bouldering competition.
Of course it's going to start.
I mean, what can you ask for? We're here at Climbers Rock in Burlington, Ontario. This is the very first stop of the Tour de Bloc of 2018. My name's Tyler Norton. I'm joined by route setting extraordinaire, competitive climber extraordinaire, Dustin Curtis. We're really happy that you guys have joined us.
What's up, guys? This is going to be a great evening.
Yeah, let's talk about this comp and where it falls in the calendar. First of all, Bloc Buster, presented by Climbers Rock. This comp has been running for years now.
Yeah.
Consistently the start of the year. I don't know, we were kind of talking maybe the Coyote Fall Classic is the only other Ontario comp that can match how long it's been going.
Yeah, I feel like it's right up there with the Coyote Fall Classic, and it's still going strong. Lots of big sponsors, lots of big prize money, lots of bragging rights, but like more about the money, really.
Yeah, we got a $5,000 prize pool on the line for our competitors today. So first place finishers are walking away with $1,000.
Oh my God!
Which,
that's like
yeah, if you adjust for climbing dollars, that's like millions, man. That's the most you're gonna make in a lifetime of pro am
climbing. When I was competing, if I won $1,000, oh, that was climbing rich right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, so we were here throughout qualifiers.
Yeah.
Nice thing about this qualifier is it was set on the same walls that finals is going to be on.
Yeah, all the volumes stayed the same.
Exactly. Now, tell me a bit about because I'm an insider. I've worked at Climbers Rock for too long. I can't be impartial anymore, right?
Okay.
So tell me about the Climbers Rock wall as seen from the rest of the world.
Okay, so this wall is pretty steep. There's no slab, which is kind of irregular for a comp in this time period. You can see here there's a ton of volumes, a ton of them, and that what you're looking at right now is actually a 45, even though it looks not steep. And then there's this slight overhanging section right here before you break into another very steep 45. So there's a lot of like thuggy climbing to be done here.
So I came in and checked. Now I've worked here for a while, but I had to double check for this broadcast. The steepest angle we're going to see today is 45 degrees on the main 45, but also on the mini hang, which is the right side of the wall. It's got some white holds and red holds on it today. The shallowest angle, the closest you're going to get to vertical is 12 degrees
Okay,
overhung.
I was going to guess 15, but yeah.
That's basically it. So that's as slabby as it gets. It's 12 degrees overhung. We have developed a reputation as being a burly climbing gym here at Climbers Rock. So
well, it's Burlington. It's going to be burly.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. I don't know. I spoke with Matt Phillips earlier. We might be able to see a video of him talking, but he was just talking about how this gym has that kind of heritage, right?
Yeah. Well, and like Climbers Rock it's a staple in Southern Ontario now because it was the first kind of big gym to open, the first of like the U.S. Canadian gyms.
No, you're exactly right. It was the first time, really, first of all, that like concrete came into Ontario.
Absolutely.
And I think really the way to put it is it was the first gym to be built after the recession, and it was the first gym in this boom of Toronto area climbing gyms.
Yeah, absolutely.
That has made Toronto the densest climbing market in North America, as far as I know, if Climbing Business Journal is telling me the truth.
Oh, man. If that's true, wow.
I know, eh? Yeah. So I think we should talk a little bit about some of the climbers we're going to be seeing tonight.
Yeah.
Now, this is an Ontario comp. It's not like we got an international draw. We saw a bunch of Quebec names and a bunch of Americans, too. In fact, we are going to see an American in finals, Mr. Dylan Barks from Michigan. 5 years ago, you may have been setting for it here. He won this comp in 2013.
Yeah.
And then we saw him disappear for a bit. I think he took kind of a hiatus, not just from competitive climbing,
but from climbing as a whole.
Exactly. And I mean, he was 18 back then too, man. Like,
yeah, he was a young guy.
There's a lot to live through at that point. But now he's back. He's 22. He's made it into finals in second place at this point. So we're really excited to see if maybe he can reclaim that crown. And right now we got Mr. Max Summerly. He is our MC for the day. He's going to start getting the audience psyched up. Could you give me an idea of how you feel about the field? Is there anybody that stands out today?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say like BK obviously stands out as the girl to watch. She and Zach actually are both former Bloc Buster champions, but on the men's side, Dylan Barks is also a former Bloc Buster champion. So I know he's not really interested in the money because it's not going to work out when he goes home.
You don't want to take $1,000 Canadian home to the States. You might as well just leave it here. That's nothing, man.
But I think like he definitely wants to unseat Zach from his podium.
Yep. 2 years running now too. Like
I know. So
you can't let a kid get away with
a three-peat.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So and on the girls' side, BK definitely. But Leah Wachowski is like nipping at her heels.
Yeah,
she
man.
wants it, and she's hungry.
Yeah.
And also we have former Ontario resident, now Quebec resident, Olivia Wyatt from Bloc
Yes.
She's like, she could come out and just like decide that she wants to win.
Yep.
BK's gonna have to work hard to like really keep her title. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Basically, so everybody gets an idea of the range of the competitors. Here's our youngest competitor.
Oh yeah, and I forgot about Ben.
This is Mr. Ben Agro. And when you compare him to the boy it's about to come out, Zach Richardson. Zach Richardson, about to get on screen, is the current champion of Bloc Buster. Ben Agro and Zach Richardson have been climbing together as partners for years. And Ben, being one of the shorter climbers, has just been stuck trying to get into finals. He's finally here. Max just called out Madison Fisher as well, one of the female climbers. Last year, she burst into the open scene, winning the Ontario National Series bouldering event. First place, unfortunately, was struck by an injury right off the bat, and that was knocked out. Who else are we seeing on the screen right now?
We have, on the men's side, there's Jake Tiger. On this side, there's Pia Graham and...
Well, Jacob Elliott just came out in a nice stripy sweater. It's nice to see him in a finals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's been a long time coming for that kid, right?
He's been a guy that, as he was getting to the later part of his teens, spent more time outside. Glad to see him indoors, though.
Yeah. So, Leo Wachowski over there.
Yep.
Dylan Barks on the other side.
Yeah, on the far left, absolutely.
And then...
Here come our first place qualifiers. Bronwyn Carnes and Lucas Uchida. Now, Lucas Uchida.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I forgot. Lucas Uchida is in finals. This is a Pan American champion. If anybody can unseat Zach, you got to think, Lucas is... He just wants to add it to another one of his ticks.
Now, the interesting thing about Lucas is the last time he was here at Bloc Buster was 2 years ago. He came in fourth, all right? So not a great finish for him at that time. He didn't show up at all last time, so we really don't have like a barometer for him. But like you said, he is a now two-time Pan American champion, won in 2014. This year in Montreal, came back double gold, baby.
I know, right?
What's going on? Gold medal from across the Americas for bouldering and lead. So we're going to get a chance to talk about these climbers a little bit later. We started late, so we're a little bit, we're going all over the place. But as these climbers are previewing, we're going to show you the climbs that they're looking at so we can start to talk about what boulders are going to be trying out today. And again, they went through a 5-on, 5-off, 5-problem qualifier, and here is women's number one. This problem is all so ill spheroids, these bright orange spheres. This wall is, for the most part, a 20 to 30 degree overhang, even though it looks vertical. It's not.
It's not vertical, no. And so, I think this is really gonna be kind of like the warm up to the hard, basically. I think that what the girls are looking at right now is they're looking at these rounded shapes. There's a little bit of distance. Looks like there's a dyno at the start. Well, it's definitely a dyno, okay. And this looks like the intro to thuggery kind of thing. Here's a taste of the waters.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for the boys, we can see right now Zach Richardson feeling out the start. All white, all Technic, another excellent sponsor. Starts out between the Les Amis holes and the standing wave, and then puts you up into the brand new GT Series slopers. These things are gorgeous.
Man, the white just looks so fantastic too. But this, you can see Jake Tiger thinking about starting in reverse. I don't know if that's the way. I didn't see any of the forerunning, but maybe. Zach is definitely checking it out to be facing in, and Lucas is facing out again. I think this problem is really going to be more about the end of the problem than less about the start. Yeah. I think it's going to be an easy to zone, and then the meat of the problem is definitely that last kind of huck over the lip.
I'll be really interested to see if they go from the start position just standing straight up into that undercling feature, or if it's more of a dynamic throw where they jump out and have to hit the bonus
and double
hold
clutch,
and the lower one at the same time. But we'll see what happens. Again, those holds are pretty trash. Now the volume evens out the angle a little bit, but as they get towards the top, I mean, they're pretty garbage.
Yeah, and you can see the hold after zone has a little hold tagged onto it, piggybacked, right? So obviously, probably the route setters tried it without the piggybacked hold and was like, no, this is too hard. We got to change this.
I'm really curious seeing the girls really trying to think through kind of this first section and that trio of orange holds.
Yeah.
That I'm really curious because honestly, the spheroids, there's not much mystery to them. They're balls. They're spheres, man.
Yeah.
So it's just going to come down to the movement. Now we're looking at men's number 2. Which the boys will turn around to in a second. These are some interesting new holds from working class climbing, these black island crimps. Hopefully we can shoot back to those black island crimps there for the boys. But for the girls right now, we're seeing these red kilter. These ones, those big ones right in front of you, are the low riders, and there's a bunch of the winter small crimps scattered throughout that climb as well. But here's the boys. Now these crimps are really interesting. Big flat plates, tiny sharp relative edges.
And like they're deceptively bad. I don't want to like. I was in between qualifiers and finals. I was up there feeling the holds, and I gotta say those things aren't good.
They're not good. What's interesting is there's a lot of volume action as well. And
so I think the volumes are going to play a larger part for the men on their feet.
Get and make that huge swing over and huge, like it's a running jump, like it's
it's like they're gonna get some airtime on that, and
it's gross.
someone's definitely gonna eat pad at some point.
Oh yeah. That's a scary wall. That's the wall where you once said a similar dyno, but you also had having to mantle and sit on top of a hold up there, and it's pretty scary stuff, man.
Again, Climbers Rock is not short.
No,
it's not a short gym.
No, it's some North American bouldering.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be friendly.
There's
here.
some height.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's take a look and see what.
So they're on
now.
number 4, and
Okay.
like both number 4s climb out the 45.
Talk about a climber's rock finish, man.
Yeah, of course, on the 45. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the women's problem is all the Kingdom avalanches. So these big kind of edges, easy to manipulate, but really undulating. So your thumbs end up in different positions. The depth of how many pads you get is always changing. And for the boys, a new guaranteed classic: the E-Grips Bubble Wrap 2-Tex ledges and the ramparts.
Yeah, man. Like anything bubble wrap, I love setting with. But like both these boulders look like they're showstoppers. 1,
Yep.
but 2, in true theme of Climbers Rock Bloc Buster, there's going to be a lot of thugging and
Yes, man.
lot of pulling.
Yes, sir.
Some muscles will be shown.
Yeah, as Matt Phillips said, some muscles will be flexing and some bodies will be flying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
What more can you say? Yeah, when you look at the stuff here, do you have a sense of like any problems that stand out as maybe easier or problems that look a little bit harder?
I don't know. When I first walked in this morning and was watching qualifiers, like obviously I was invested because I'm helping out with the adult team at Up the Block, so a bunch of our athletes were there. And the first thing that I thought was like, oh, maybe these boulders are a little bit easy. And even Lucas Uchida said to me, the boulders were really easy when he finished, but he didn't flash all of them, so I don't know why he can say that, because if they were easy, he would have done them all, and he would have done them all first go.
Yeah, not all the guys going through to finals finished with 5 tops.
Yeah.
Like it took you, basically 4 tops, and I think the lowest we let through is 7 attempts, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't have it written down.
We don't have scores anyway.
All
so.
this paper, and I'm still terribly prepared, apparently. But
I said, you're the kid that I would copy off of in high school.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're going to be bringing the athletes out in reverse order. Now, there was a tie, and I haven't got confirmation on how things are going to go for the women, but for the boys, our first climber out on problem number 1 will be Ben Agro, which I'm super excited. For the women, I'm not sure if it's Veronique Goslin or Olivia Wyatt, just because nobody's had the time to show me. They were tied in 5th place, so I don't know which one comes out first. We'll see who it is. But either way, if you happen to just be joining us again, I'm not sure. It looks like we had a little bit of a power outage. We're just finishing up the problem intros with athletes going back into ISO, and our first climbers are going to be sitting here on the mats and getting ready to go. So anyway, before we get started, do you have any predictions of who's going to come first place at this comp?
Man, I really want to. I want to see Zach get the 3-peat, but I'm going to put my money where it's safe, and I'm going to put it on Lucas Uchida.
All right.
For the women, man, that's anybody's game.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm gonna put my money on Zach. I'm gonna say he knows this gym well enough. He knows this style. This is his home. This is his parents. His parents own this place. Like I think Zach's going to walk away with a 3-peat, which I'll be excited about. I hope Ben Agro gets into the podium.
That would be
the best day I could ever imagine. For the women, though, I think this is the year for Leah Wachowski. She was in 5th place 2 years ago. She was in 3rd place last year.
I would love to see that.
She's going to take 1st place this year, man.
She's been working hard. I would love to see it.
Let's be honest. Bronwyn and Leah in comps, basically neck and neck. They back and forth. You see them alternating different positions. Like, I'm ready to give it up for Leah.
All right, let's do this. I'm ready.
All right, here we have on the screen, side by side, we are going to start with Olivia Wyatt on women's number 1 and Ben Agro on men's number 1. Ben.
Okay, so it is an inside, like it is facing in.
Yeah.
But let's see if he can get out of this.
And Ben's one of the shortest climbers, so fitting into that may be easier for him.
But he's going to do that double clutch. I don't know. Maybe this hold is too bad to like double clutch it.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. Now, depending on how bad the lower one is, yeah, you might be
Olivia
right.
Wyatt is making such quick work of women's number 1, though. Like, she looks like she's on a mission.
Yeah, now it is basically just one big pull up to the finish, but her feet are so tight in under her, it's going to be hard to trust that hand. Just not enough. Again, going up to a tiny little crimp.
I wonder how big that crimp is, though. I really do.
It's not very big. You're talking about a sloping, like, 1-pad crimp.
So this is more of the way that I read this boulder, is that Ben's going to, like, securing the bonus here, and now he has a,
I don't think they're going to give him bonus on that, man. I don't think it's going to happen.
Whoa. Savage. Savage.
Would you call that control?
No, I wouldn't.
No, not a chance, man. Yeah, if you joined us, we are doing a 4-minute current World Cup format, so when 4 minutes is up, you better be at the top, because if you're only halfway up, we're kicking you off. Just so everybody knows. But yeah, you see the clock in your top right corner, which I'm really psyched about. Talk about things that climbing needs.
Well, and in the bottom, you can notice our sponsors as well.
I know,
right?
yeah. If you're so ill, if you're E-Grips, if you're working class or Kilter or Technic, this is what you want to see, man.
Yeah, man. This is cool.
Very proud of the guys at Climbers Rock. Now, Ben Agro getting in for his third attempt here, squeezing in again. It's the Les Amis on the left side and the standing wave on the right. This looks like he can find a secure position in this push, but again, can you really get out and secure that bonus? And
I don't think that was.
It seems
bonus.
that hold is just too bad.
I still feel like it's facing out beta. I've got to say, like,
what makes that better though?
I think that you can gain the bonus from facing out because like you're reaching around that lip, right?
Okay.
And then I feel like it'll be more of a controlled release
than that's fair.
If you're facing in, you have to arch your back in order to get into bonus, right?
Okay. Olivia White managed to get through the start really easy. Like moving through these things again, they're juggy.
So it
slopers.
definitely wasn't a dyno like I thought it was.
Yeah, no, it looks like that foot's huge, the hand's huge. You can get all your weight to the left.
Yeah, I feel like I misread that. I honestly didn't spend a lot of time looking at that boulder because I was so distracted by all of the other holds.
Oh man, so many incredible holds.
Yeah,
on this climb.
I know.
This is a tribute to North American climbing, Concrete Rockworks, and then a bunch of the biggest names in North American.
And some good old-fashioned hold pulling.
Yeah,
this is like, oh man, this is what I love about rock climbing comps. This jittery excitement that I get.
Gotta love it. If you're just joining us, you're watching Bloc Buster presented
1 minute left
by Climbers Rock. And yes, 1 minute left on the clock. You see your timer went orange. So again, if the climbers aren't at the top when the timer goes out, they're not going to get anything. They don't get extra time to climb. This isn't some baby comp. This is some adult World Cup.
Yeah. And I correct me if I'm wrong, but I still think that I don't think Ben has got bonus on this boulder.
We're going to have to find out when we see results, but in my opinion, the control he's shown hasn't been control at all. So we're going to have to see what comes up. Now, Olivia, again, she has got bonus, but with 25 seconds, she's got to find the top.
She's got to rush this.
She's been really just a hold away, but she needs to secure the crimp at the top lip before she can actually get to that finish hold.
Does she
going to back off? She's got 14 seconds.
Know that?
I certainly hope she knows. If not, she's going to
Or maybe we're wrong about the format?
Unless they change it without telling me, which honestly...
they're both doing it, so I think it's 4+, dude.
We'll see what... Okay, well, if we're doing 4+, then welcome to the past. The time is gone, and this is their last attempt.
So this is going to be
climb.
that 4+ magic that we keep talking about that doesn't exist anymore, because this could motivate Olivia Wyatt to just finish this boulder. Like, she might just pull it out of her hat.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Get the count.
Oh, she just missed that hole, too.
I feel like she's got to, whoever climbs this next has really got to find a little more ability to move out of that crunched up position. I think she was depending on the bonus hold, pulling down too much.
And I wonder,
really needs to get some side pull or undercling.
I wonder if it's better on the undercling, and they can get that weird gun wrap kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
to like stand up into that.
Just too trapped being in that position. So next up, we got Veronique Goslin and Zach Richardson. Zach Richardson is the defending 2-time-in-a-row champion. We'll see if he can pull out a top this time around on men's number 1. Oh, you hear that noise, man?
Man, the crowd is loving it.
I love
awesome.
this crowd in Burlington. All right.
Burlington's always loud, actually. Come to think about it, even at Nationals, like, what was Nationals here?
You talking about youth Nationals or adult Nationals?
Oh, both of them were loud.
Open Nationals 2011.
Yeah, and that thing was real loud.
That was one lit comp. Now, okay, we talked about Zach. Veronique Goslin from Montreal representing the Block Shop. She's actually our oldest competitor today at 33. Yeah. Now, I'm used to seeing lots of climbers into their 30s at comps, but each year it's less and less and less as people like Zach, these teenagers,
just keep coming up and keep getting stronger and stronger. And every time like a kid grows into a category, you're just like, well, okay, that's another final spot gone.
Yeah,
good.
No, exactly. All right, we got Veronique. We'll see if she can figure out a better body position than Olivia.
This looks better already.
You're so tight in there. I don't know if you can control that.
She looked so much more control. And look, she's psyched. She's gonna do it.
She
had her hand on it, and now she's got a taste.
If I see a left foot on this, when you're going up for your right foot in that crunch to body position, I'm doubtful. I feel like it's gotta get a right foot up on there.
So Zach is still trying this in, like facing in position.
Yeah.
And he might.
Ooh, this is way too static for my liking. Incredible control, but my God. Well, okay, we're going to give him bonus on that one, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, well, he definitely controlled it, but like that, I think So when I was on the ladder and touching the bonus hold with chalk on my hands, I think I think it felt so much better than it actually is in real life. So Veronique is on the boulder right now, and I think she's still going to go left foot. She looks really controlled, man. Like,
yeah,
even just chalking up, she looks so chilled out. Like, she's just thinking, oh.
But again,
oh,
see,
the undercling.
This is what I'm talking about. Get the undercling, get a right foot on. Now you're open to rotate as much as you want and stick this hold.
And
there it is from Veronique.
It's going down.
Just got to get this top. Big juggy sloper. And the crowd's going nuts for the first top.
Yeah, first top of the night, and she's psyched.
Feeling good. That's going to break up that tie, at least for now, between Veronique and Olivia.
So
Zach back where he was before. We'll see if he's going to actually go up again. Oh, I'm wondering if he needs to get that foot up sooner than later. I don't know. What do you think about that one?
Maybe he uses the opposition between the bonus hold and that hold underneath the roof to really bring his right foot up, so that he can match that in back flag really hard against maybe that volume that's in for women's number 2.
Yeah,
there is no black tape there, so he can do that. You'll also notice that when he's matching that bonus hold, he is squeezing so much with his feet to try and keep his body position underneath that volume, to try and keep his keep underneath that hold so that he doesn't lose tension there.
Yeah, and you know what, the thing that's surprising me is he's popping to this next hold after bonus, but like you mentioned, it does have a screw on it. You've got another little white jib on there, and to me, Zach, this kid's as powerful and as grip strong as anybody. I'm wondering if he's missing it or if he just hasn't been able to lock this thing down yet. But here we go with a minute left on the clock. And we'll see if we can get past. Oh, man.
He's just losing tension in that. Like, this boulder's hard, man. And
it's not even that dynamic, but the amount of energy you're expending in these first couple moves just to keep your center of gravity in the wall.
And shoving into that corner, it doesn't look like it's that easy, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's nice that we're starting out with something tough for the boys. Lay the smack down early on, baby.
Oh, man.
I like it. That's some,
and there's a lot of that left to go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this isn't going to...
I mean, other than men's number 3, which is all jugs, but a lot of, airtime, it's just going to get worse for the guys.
Yeah, man. No, this should be some excellent nonsense that we're about to see. Zach's final attempt on men's number 1.
You can hear the crowd is just all the way behind this kid, right? Like, this is his home gym.
Actually looking good. That's what I want to... Oh... And that'll be
maybe that is the beta. Like, maybe popping to this and catching the bottom. Ooh,
it could be.
That's a lot of coordination to ask for, though.
Could be. Zach's going to wrap that up. We're going to go on to our next climbers. We're going to have Jake Tiger out for the boys. He was your 4th place qualifier. And for the girls, we were talking about Madison Fisher earlier, who started last season with a lot of promise and then succumbed to an injury. Right now, we got the scores up so far.
So they did give Ben bonus.
All right, that's fine. I can live with that. That's he touched it. He was hanging off it. For the girls, of course, Veronique with the only top so far in two attempts. This is going to widen right up after we get all these climbers on.
Yeah, and this is just the start of the night, right?
Exactly.
Like, there's still 3 more boulders.
Yeah.
So Jake on your right, he's trying that reverse method. He's also one of our taller climbers. Actually, he might be the tallest man in finals.
Yeah, it could be. Now, you said a lot for Jake. Can you tell us anything about his style?
He's full of energy. He often rushes his boulders just like that. And he's made a lot of progress in the last couple of years. So Madison Fisher is climbing out of the core climbing gym in Cambridge, a new gym.
Yeah, she just put off a really excellent, powerful attempt, but I think just missing that hold, maybe not expecting where it was, how far it was on the wall, and just
she's also one of those more powerful girls that is looking that gravitates more towards that thuggish, dynamic style, right?
It's the next generation of female climbers who have been taught you're going to have to dyno sometimes, you're going to have to pull big sometimes.
Well, yeah, and throughout her youth career, she was actually a lot shorter. It's only recently that she had a growth spurt, and so she is learning to go more static, but right now you can see that this powerful Burlington style, the Burly Burlington.
Yeah, man, Burly boulders.
It's working out for her so far.
Yeah, totally. A nice moment of pause between these guys. Jake's trying to figure out if maybe there's something he's been missing. We'll see if he can piece it together. But again, after seeing Zach climb men's number 1, it's clear that you have to have a little bit of patience in those first couple moves, unless you're willing to commit to a very difficult launch with a really rough
Oh, and
finish.
Jake wore his
I don't think that'll go, man.
trademark socks, man.
Of course.
Of course.
Always with the socks.
Okay, so
Rock-
yeah, see, Madison does not care. She's ready to throw down.
Oh my.
It looked like, and we didn't see it from the live stream, but it looked like she one-handed clapped that.
Yeah, it looked like the thing where it's just a little bit closer than you think, and your fingers go beyond it, and you're ready to clutch too early, and you wipe it off. You can't be blowing away attempts like this. Like, this is a powerful move, and she can't do that just, a couple more times, right? She's got to do this in these attempts.
Yeah, and like those attempts are going to compound and pay dividends later for the root setters, right?
No, absolutely. That's going to be the separation. And again, Madison's got to make sure that she is being accurate when she puts that much power into this stuff. Otherwise, you're using all that energy and walking away with no reward.
While we have a moment of downtime, I'd like to give a shout out to the root setters. I know they're like the unsung
Please do,
heroes.
yeah, man.
But Matt Phillips led this amazing crew of young root setters, and this is a young root setting crew, right?
Yep.
You got Jordan Locke and Jamie Roy. Those two are pretty much like.
It's actually Jordan Rock with an R, as appropriate at it sounds too good to be true, but yeah, Gordon Rock or
Whoa.
Jordan Rock.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, man.
That he needs to be promoted to head root setter right now. Just.
Madison Fisher trying to get this thing done on her third attempt.
Oh!
Finally sticks it and gets that top. Excellent work. Again, she was so close in the first few attempts. She could have been ahead of Veronique Gosselin right now if
Yeah,
she'd
I think
actually
that-
stuck it.
Well, and I think that comes with patience and time and a little bit of competition experience. She's still young in her career, so
You're right.
as she gets more comps underneath her belt, she's going to learn to be patient about those kind of things.
I think you're absolutely right. These young kids, they've got the body and the growth to deal with a lot of strength, but I think those mental lessons are only something that come with time.
And you only screw it up once, because
Yeah.
once you screw it up, there's a coach or there's your friend or there's even you sitting there that night going like, man, I lost money
Exactly.
and time and energy because I rushed it.
And she's only 16 years old. What can you ask for? That said, she attended her first World Cup just this season. She was in Munich for the first time.
That's
Talk
so
about
cool.
Talk about a lesson to learn.
Yeah, and Jake wants some support. This is, I don't know why he tagged that.
Yeah, I think he's forgotten what the start holds are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and again, I think I think he just had a little too much faith in his ability to get compression in those two. Not going to work out, but again, we still haven't seen a top on that problem. So
I also think that the boys came out and looked at men's number one and thought okay, this is the jug hall.
You really think so?
I think there's something to be said about the progression of boulders, and maybe someone in that group while they were previewing was like, hey, so this is the easy boulder, we're just going to walk this.
Yeah. And these scores haven't been updated quite yet, so Madison Fisher is actually in second place with 1 top and 3 attempts. And, of course, Jake's results aren't yet posted. This thing refreshes after about 30 to 60 seconds, so we'll get these updated through the night. Look at our next climbers up, Jake Elliott for men's number 1 and Pia Graham on women's number 1. I was talking to you about this earlier. Pia, I think, was a little bit disappointed last year coming in 4th place at this comp. She is a Bloc Buster champion. She won back in 2016, and I can only imagine that she plans on taking that back.
Former champions are in this pool.
I feel like this is the all-star year, man.
Yeah, man. And this is cool right here. We get the double, the split
screen.
view.
Are you kidding me? Look at the technology.
We're so fancy.
Wow. Jacob not managing to get much on the start, but Pia is keeping herself solid and secure, popping the toe hooks. Pia is one of my favorite climbers to watch.
It's because she always makes things look easy.
Her use of momentum is unbelievable. But just like Madison, maybe not quite ready for what that last hold
she's
is.
a very seasoned competitor, so she should have been ready for that. It's not anything new to her.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's true. I hope she doesn't make the same mistake again. But I mean,
she's gone to World Cups.
Oh,
she had a very successful youth career.
Yep.
This is someone who is well seasoned in this game.
Pia is kind of the start of a generation where we had climbers beginning to climb, competitively when they were 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Right? She's kind of the first gen of Ontario youth climbers, if you want to look at it that way. And I mean, her climbing the last couple of years has always been awesome. She's always towards the top. She's one of the girls that the younger girls always want to beat.
Come on, Jacob.
Jake showing some of his outdoor prowess, actually trying to find a little control. I'm impressed.
Yeah, is this his first finals?
This is his first finals here at Bloc Buster. Yeah, absolutely. Now I can give
I
you
don't think he's had like an open finals before.
He may not have. I know he's done extremely well on the youth circuit, but of course that's not open. Now we'll see if Pia can get this thing done on her second attempt. I want to see it, Pia.
So she has the hold in her hand. I think like the more we watch these girls on this problem, I think that hold is one of those holds that you have to catch with your hand already closed. You can't just like, you can't throw to it willy-nilly, you know, you have to already have that preemptive crimp almost ready to go.
I think you're right. And the thing is, of course, at that angle up there, when you're previewing, you can't see the grippable side. There's no way to know what that hold is when you're in preview, right? So this is the girl's first chance to actually see what they're dealing with on the second last hold there.
And also, the wall climbs a lot, like that section of wall, I think you'll back me up on this, climbs a lot steeper than it actually is. It's only 12 degrees.
No, that part is not 12 degrees. The right side of there's a big slash that runs through the wall, but the area that Pia's climbing on is actually 30 degrees. No, sorry, not 30 degrees. 25 degrees over.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It looks vertical because it's not the steepest wall, but it is 25.
So in that hold is probably a lot further than she feels as well. When she's on the ground, she's looking at it going like, that hold's probably not that far, and then getting up into that, there's a lot of distance in that.
No, absolutely.
I'm really psyched on Jacob's poise and control right now. Like, you see him coming off and he's flailing, but like while he's on the boulder, he's really staying tight, being subtle, being patient.
We'll see if Pia can actually lock this down with 47
she's got that
seconds.
Undercling beta going on.
But she's looking like she's a bit tired. I'm not like this. Yeah, this is
I think that was.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about, you know, these powerful moves. You can't make the mistakes early, right? You can't afford to take multiple attempts on the big moves.
And even though there's a very long rest in between boulder problems for each athlete, it's going to pay dividends as you move through the comp. You could be feeling really fresh on problem number 1, and then by problem number 3, you might be thinking, I really just want to go home and fall asleep.
Exactly. Now, my buddy Nathan Lewis just texted me. He reminded me that Jake Elliott actually came in finals last year at the Grand River Rock Tour de Bloc. So he knows what it's like to be under the cooking lamps.
Oh.
And their final attempts. Now, Pia, I feel like she's just going to be too tired for this. I want to see her get this. She's going to have to pull something big out of a hat. Jacob just not getting the control to the hold after bonus.
Pia does look a little tired.
I want to see Pia find it.
When she was matching that hold, it looked like a little bit of a fight.
Yeah, it just looked like the control in the biceps just wasn't there.
That might have been 4 goes, I think, 4 or 5.
That was her 4th attempt, at the end.
Yeah, so usually the way this works is you want to give like a rule of 3 almost.
Yeah.
Unless it's something crazy like a runny do or anything like that, you kind of want to fall under the rule of 3. You give 1 good burn at the start of your time, 1 in the middle, and then you usually wait, especially since it's 4+, you usually wait until that last 10 seconds to get on the boulder.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got the results up here for the women. So far you can see that women's number 1 has seen a couple tops from Veronique and Madison Fisher, but men's number 1 still waiting on the first top.
Shout out to Block Shop, though. They've got 2 athletes in, and one of them's in first.
Well, it seems a little bit early, man. Let's not be giving credit when we're not even done the first problem.
I'll also give credit to Climbers Rock. They got 2 athletes.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing some of them right now. On the women's out now is Leah Wachowski, and for the boys, our only American that made it into finals. A lot of them came out, but Dylan Barks on your screen, the only American to make it to finals. And again, we said he's the 2013 Bloc Buster champion, and I know he wants it back.
Yeah, but seeing how men's number 1 has progressed, I'm not so sure that Dylan's going to do so well on this boulder.
What makes me interested to see is it might be the boulder that gives you the win, depending on how things go. Leah, let's see if she can lock it. Yeah, man, I'm very convinced that hold for the women is just not what you expect.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's worse than we thought. And Dylan showing off just like pure shoulder power.
That's yucky. That's not a very eloquent way to say it, but like that's some gnarly.
But see, I think like I again think that Zach was onto something with pinching the starting hold, with his feet, and I think I don't know. This men's number 1, you may be right. It could be the decider.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if anybody can put together the kind of complex footwork that Zach did. Of course, it didn't pay off. Still didn't get the top. But there's still people to come out. And, of course, we still haven't even seen our first place qualifiers yet. So stick around. We've still got a couple more climbers on these first problems. Leah Wachowski, taking a look at this women's number 1. Now, Leah's had some solid finishes. I mean, talk about the Tour de Bloc Championships last year. She was 3rd place. She was on the podium for the championships of this series, right? And then also at the Ontario Open last season, came 3rd. In fact, 3rd behind Olivia and Madison, who are competing today. But she's not somebody that's unfamiliar with a podium.
No, absolutely not.
I know she doesn't want anything less than that.
Dylan Barks.
I'm getting excited.
You really want that Canadian money, don't you?
That's what I was excited about, getting the high foot, but can he control this? And not quite yet, but 1:55 still left on the clock. We'll see.
Yeah, he's got another go in him, and I think it'll be a really good go.
Yeah. I hope he waits a little bit before getting back on, but we'll see what happens.
He's a seasoned competitor. I'm sure he will.
If Leah can get this on her 2nd attempt, she's going straight to the top of the leaderboard.
Well, tied.
Did Veronique get it 2nd attempt? Okay, yeah. You're right. There it is, but there.
The real question is, will BK flash that?
You know what? If we had to put money on whether or not Bronwyn Karnas flashes women's number 1, I would put a lot of money on it. I got some in my pocket. I would put it all down. If now, kids, gambling's bad. Don't gamble.
So Dylan's going to give it another go already, and I think this is his 4th go, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to say 3rd, but again, we're both bad at counting.
Yes.
So let's not worry about it. This is what I'm talking about, man. Still doesn't work. Just the momentum in the lower body is enough to pull you out if you're not gripping that undercling well enough. 53 seconds left for Dylan Barks, the lone American, the last guy holding the American flag in finals. And we'll see if he can be the guy that breaks men's number 1. And I was listening to the route setters banter to each other, and they were talking about, the prospects for the climbs. And men's number 1, they actually mentioned your name. They're like, this was the one problem. It's got a little bit of Dustin Curtis in it, a little bit of that mystery where even the route setters aren't sure exactly how it's going to go. And I think they're getting what they wanted. I think they wanted something hard, something with complexity, something with options.
Yeah, and those factors are kind of what makes a really great boulder, in my opinion. I really like when there's multiple sequences and the climbers can kind of have enough rope to hang themselves, sort of thing. I mean, it's a bouldering comp, so there's no ropes, but
thank God. Yeah. All right, this will be Dylan's final attempt on men's number 1. And again, just getting the bonus in control is a feat in itself. And we'll see if he can get the second hand up there. I really want to see the other foot go. Just not enough.
Just not enough.
Well, I'll tell you, Lucas Ushida is sitting in the back, and he's been waiting a long time. All of his boys have been taking the full 4 minutes and more. He knows that he's got the opportunity to crack this can wide open.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I hope men's 1 goes. I really do.
I want it to go real bad. Now, that said, here at Bloc Buster, men's has always been the harder category, I think, for the most part.
For sure.
But we expect a lot of our boys here, man.
Yeah.
Bring those muscles. We want to see them. But, yeah, your first place qualifiers.
Well, and last year, I think last year it was one of my first comps back in Ontario since moving from the West. And I remember standing in the crowd and just being like, whoa, these boulders, they're awesome, but whoa, boys, they're hard.
Yeah, man. So, again, we've got Bronwyn Karnas. She's your first place qualifier.
Wasting no time.
She's on it. She knows what Climbers Rock is all about. She's not afraid of any of this stuff. She knows there's going to be slopers. She knows there's going to be compression. She knows she's going to need momentum, and she knows she's going to need to flex those big old biceps to get to the top of this, and she's basically checking that list.
Yep. And
each item.
Again, our production company is so good getting this split screen.
I'm loving this.
Yeah,
we get to watch everything. Lucas with a rough finish. Oh, come on. I lost all that money now. Damn it.
But you see, like with Bronwyn, I think it was her left hand that cut and not the right hand.
Her left hand. You know what? I didn't miss that part. I was watching the right hand too much because I knew.
I think it was her left hand.
I knew I had profit that I could make, and I was just paying attention to the wrong thing on the screen, man.
No, I definitely think that it was her left hand that came off the bonus hold.
You could definitely be right. Yeah, if you have sideways momentum while you're also trying to pull in that unfamiliar crimp, I can definitely imagine it pulling you off. Lucas going in for his second attempt on the unsent men's number 1. Now, I expect him to be very controlled through the start, but again, when we get to the next phase through bonus.
So sorry to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, that's where you got to show those Pan American gold medals, man. Like, you've beaten a lot harder fields than this. Step up.
That's absolutely true. But Lucas, his first attempt, he was facing out, and on this attempt, he's facing in. And he looks...
Oh, my
God.
This is looking like the most promising attempt. If he doesn't fluff the foot, Lucas, come on, bud.
Wow.
Oh, that was looking really good.
I think you can give him top just for like cutting on those 2 holes. Really? I think that's where the boulder should have finished.
No. Oh, and Bronwyn actually botches the start of F1 on her second attempt. So right away, that takes her out of the first place after problem number 1. That's too bad. Just a weird little slip of the hand.
Well, and you can see that she's breathing, like she took a really deep breath right there just to like calm herself down. Sometimes that like little foot slips and stuff like that can really affect the athletes, and it can take them on an emotional journey where they just start to doubt themselves, and they carry that throughout the comp. So it's really good competitors that can kind of shut that negativity and the self-doubt out.
If you have a foot slip on footholds this big, I want you to feel some doubt. Come on now, guys. Like, could you get a bigger foot? Anyway, she's going in for her 3rd attempt. She knows what she has to do. I don't think she wants to let this last any longer. There it is. She's going to finish this top out with ease.
And now we're going to that split screen with Lucas Uchida trying. And you can see like how hard Lucas is working. Like right now he looks cash and checked out. But when he's moving his feet, it seems like that stem and that pressure between those 3 points is really what's keeping him on.
I'm liking this a lot.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, and he sticks the bump to the
that's good, Beta.
This thing is going down.
Yeah.
Put it on the board. Lucas Uchida with the first and only top of men's number 1 is securely holding down that first place after our first problem.
And if you're Lucas, like that's a definitive stroke to the rest of the rest of the field, because now he's already got a top.
Exactly. Now everybody else is trying to chase him.
Yeah, and catch up, right?
Yeah, and I mean, when Lucas gets started, like if you go back and watch the replays to the Pan American Championships when Lucas won that thing, it was disgusting.
And
like,
he might just run away with that too. That's the other thing.
I'm worried that that's what's going to happen, but we'll see what comes up. We're switching to the second problem of the night. That's men's number 1, or sorry, yeah.
Men's number 2 and women's number 2.
Yeah, right? I'm not good at that
We're
stuff.
not good at counting.
It's just too much stress. We're going to have our first climbers out again, which is Olivia Wyatt and Ben Agro, and we'll see if they can finally put something up on the scoreboard for us to get excited about. And we're going to switch over to that.
Are we? Yeah, they're starting
right away.
It's going to
happen. It's going to happen.
No. They're starting right away.
Oh, yeah. We're not waiting. All right, so we're going to flip problems. So right now in front of us, we got Ben Agro, again, starting up on the working class island crimps. So these plates take up a lot of space on the wall, but they're really just 1 pad or less crimps with very undulating surfaces. So each section of the crimp is really different from just a few inches away. And Olivia on a bunch of kilter lowriders, also with a lot of their winter small crimps. So if you're setting at home, you can recreate these these problems.
And so you can see like Olivia looking for that, looking for something to keep her underneath this hold.
Yeah.
Again, another steep section of wall. Those holds are really rounded. They don't create a lot of purchase.
We were talking about this in that, even though we call them crimps, even though the lowriders look like jugs, there isn't purchase on any of them. They're really just round, flat slopers at best.
Yeah, and especially for, okay, so we've moved on to Ben for a second there. But I want to go back to women's number 2. Between the volumes and these rounded holds, you're creating a lot of a situation where the climber isn't exactly comfortable or secure on these holds. So they're always looking like Olivia was looking for a toe hook or a heel hook to keep her underneath these holds so that they feel better, right?
Yeah.
And these holds are creating that situation where she's not fully confident that she can stay on the wall.
Yeah, no, exactly. Now, Olivia, that part of the wall is a 45-degree overhang. There
plus some volume, so it's steeper.
We're really cranking it back. No kidding, eh? Yeah, Ben Agro dealing with something a little less extreme, fortunately for him. But it does go into a 45-degree overhang when you get to the volume section.
Yeah, so talking about men's number 2, which we will in a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So Olivia just had like a little bit of a foot slip there. But men's number 2 to me looks a little bit more technical than it is powerful. There's still, don't get me wrong, there's still like an aspect of you have to hold on to these bad holds, and but they're pretty much all turned the wrong way, if you know what I mean. Like they're turned the way where there's no feet. Like you can see, you go up to that right hand right off the start, and the 2 starting holds don't make good feet. They're really, really shallow pores, so they don't create a foot. So you're really trying to like keep on this this Gaston really with no opposition to it whatsoever. And because Ben's a shorter climber, he has to work harder to keep that opposition between that foot.
No, absolutely.
Right?
Oh, going into a rough Gaston, that's going to be tough stuff. Curious if it might just be better to go with the thumb. But yeah, no, Olivia, really interesting securing the bonus with Olivia. But that cross through, again, because of the angle of the wall and where your feet are, when you take that left hand out of the undercling, the amount of momentum pulling your body off the wall is ridiculous. So getting that cross past the bonus is definitely going to be the hardest part. It just looks like she hasn't been showing the power, the control in the right hand to really lock that thing
well,
down.
and also that volume is no small volume, right? It's not.
No,
it's not shallow.
Sure.
So you like you still have to pull around the volume, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely do.
Adding another aspect of that insecure, uncontrolled movement.
Yeah. Now, Olivia, not some kind of weak climber. She was second place at the Quebec National Series bouldering event just a couple weeks ago, finishing only behind Babette Roy, but frankly beating a bunch of the people who are in the field today. So we know she knows what a winner's mentality or a podium mentality feels like. Ben Agro, on the other hand, again, this is his first open finals. He has been watching and training and working so hard since he was 9, 10, 11 here in this gym, and this is his first chance to really show off. I know he's excited just to be here, but I don't think he'll be happy unless he can walk away at the top. And here, she's got to keep this foot in if she wants this cross to go. But again, she needs to pull more. She's not close enough to get that hold yet.
She needs to stand is really what needs to happen, is that foot is keeping her under, but she needs to stand on her right foot and really like get up on that hold so she can reach the next one.
No, exactly. But yeah, unfortunately, time's out for Ben and Olivia, so we'll be moving on to our 5th place qualifiers, Zach Richardson and Veronique Goslin.
So Ben's number 2 doesn't really fit Zach's style of climbing. Okay.
So yeah, Zach, obviously he grew up in this gym, which is a lot about steep, but a lot of people may consider it to be a fairly slopey or juggy gym. Not so much about the thin little crimps, not so much about the complex angles, So it'll be really interesting, actually, just to see him give this one a shot. Now, this said, Zach had a really rough season. He submitted himself to a ton of World Cups, got punished hard, and I think he's ready for a lot of different challenges that he's not normally been used to.
Yeah, and Veronique just looking so composed here, really showing that like she belongs in this field. I think she's going to search for the
Now a foot switch would be very interesting if she can keep her momentum. That's really neat. I think that could go. I wonder, you gotta have more control in the right hand.
And I wonder if that sneaky toe hook around that arete might be the way.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh, Zach.
All right, Zach Richardson skipping holds apparently.
Okay.
And he's going to lock down bonus. No,
I think that was the beta. Oh, but here, this is cool. Wow, Zach.
That is a happy home crowd getting loud for the homeboy Zach Richardson fighting for his 3-peat championship of this Bloc Buster presented by Climbers Rock.
But again, he's playing catch-up.
Exactly. Lucas currently the only one with a top on men's 1. And, I look at that second problem. I feel like Lucas can probably take care of business on that thing. I don't think he's too afraid. Veronique on attempt number 2. We'll see.
Does your voice go any higher?
We'll see the scores later. It used to when I was younger, but, you lose some talents over time.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
It's just how it goes. No, yeah, I think Veronique, first of all, really cool that she's out here.
Yeah.
This isn't one of those, famous big comps on an international level, but just coming out to take care of this. I don't think we're going to see her at the Ontario Open in a couple weeks, but we will definitely see her at Nationals, I would assume. She's, in the Plastic Weekly rankings, she's ranked in the top 10. She's one of Canada's strongest, most prolific climbers right now.
Awesome.
I would love it if we saw her and more Quebec climbers coming out to Ontario. Because, we have a lot of strong climbers here. They got a lot of strong climbers over there. Let's put that together. Let's make some magic.
Yeah, and the more people showing up to comps, the better the comps will be.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, we need those strong fields to keep pushing each other. And we're going with 1:40 left on the clock. Veronique got to show the control, but also needs to give us some actual pull in that right arm to get us to the left-hand cross.
What is this?
This makes me worried. I'm worried unless she's going left hand to the bonus. No. Just too crazy.
Just too crazy.
But again, she
does have that toe hook and didn't like it.
I don't think that's enough, man. I honestly, unless the volume's too much in your way, I really like the left foot on that rightmost volume. I feel like, I think you just got to power through. I think it puts you in the best position.
See,
for
I did
stability.
the climbers like mimicking the beta, and I realized that no one can see me. So
yeah, see, you know, we Can you imagine if the entire commentary was just video of us
doing this,
mimicking through the entire? Yeah, let's not do that. That's not worth being on TV.
So we're down to our last 40 seconds ish. I'm hoping that she waits a little bit and kind of...
I would take this all the way down to 0.
Yeah,
like
I would take it to like 5.
If you've taken 3 attempts and you realize your issue is having the power, why are you starting any earlier? Unless you're afraid of slipping at the start, which I mean, this is a slick volume start.
Yeah.
But I think taking every second you can to rest is important. This should be her last attempt. Let's see if she just decides on some beta and executes for better or for worse, just commits to something. Playing around with the toes and the reach through, just not completely there.
I think that's part of it, though, is that there's a definite aspect of decision making in this boulder, and
I'm really impressed by that because maybe not something you always see at Climbers Rock, but this is a problem where you're forced to make those tough decisions, and I think it's showing off.
Okay, now is Veronique gonna go back to the? Oh, a bump is interesting.
It's a cute idea. I think, you know, after that many attempts, the power is not there. You just got to call it a day. And
maybe that's the beta. Is maybe you bumped that and then come into the zone hold to get your body around that volume.
That hold after bonus is no better than bonus. And if you bump up to that, your left hand is so far down. That's a full arm span, right? That's probably 5.5 feet for these girls.
I don't know. We'll see what BK does.
Yeah, you know what? Bronwyn's gonna campus it. Let's. Yes, I'm still putting money on that. But anyway, yeah. Veronique still looking good. She's got that bonus. It puts her just on top of Leah. But of course, we've only had 2 girls go through women's number 2. Now out on your screen, your 4th place qualifiers, Mr. Jake Tiger and Miss Madison Fisher. Now, Madison, you were talking about a kind of a powerful climber, lacking some experience that you can only get from competing longer and becoming more of an adult and things like that. But she's had a really good season in the last couple of years. She's attended, of course, World Youth Championships. She attended her first World Cup in Munich just this last year.
That's a big span. Sorry to cut you off, but she... Okay, she's bumping in now, and
you're making me believe in the bump here now. All of a sudden.
I know, right?
And Jake getting bonus real early, which is nice. But we'll see if he can hold the press and keep the friction on that. That's a giveaway. That's a chance for a flash there, and you give that up when you're that high.
He didn't bump down to the palming hold,
that's
right?
True.
That's and I think that might just be him like. Sometimes when you're competing and you stick a hold that you don't think you're going to stick, you kind of get in this rushed sense of like, oh my God, the finishing hold's in sight. I got to do this and I got to do it right now. And you kind of forget everything else. Like you start to lose tension. You start to just rush and get sloppy.
Yeah, you're totally right. And again, we talk about Jake as being one of those energetic guys. That's, he shows visible frustration. He shows visible excitement. And maybe he does need to calm it down.
Yeah, like right now, look at him.
He's
getting his jam on a little bit.
The dude is constantly in party mode. Apparently, he's just. But I mean, we gotta give it up for the DJ who's filling this place with beats, keeping everybody excited, and of course keeping the climbers happy as well.
So sorry to cut you off again, but I'm just going to start. I'm just going to finish what I started a long time ago. I wanted to shout out to the rest of the route setting crew. We already covered Matt Phillips, Jordan Rock, Jamie Roy, Nathan Lewis, had a hand in it, and Mark Lee.
Yeah, exactly. They did a great job so far. Of course, we still got a few more problems where they can botch it, but.
But knock on wood, all of you route setters.
So far, I'm just really happy to be watching this stuff. And again, talking about the athletes here, how badly Zach wants this three-peat, how much Pia wants back on top, how much Bronwyn's back on top, how much Leah has been invested in this comp. This is her home gym. She's been watching this for years, and she's been so close to that first place.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm Team Leah today. I got to coach Bronwyn when she was a little kid, but today I'm jumping ship. I want to see a win for Leah. She absolutely deserves it. I'm just psyched for this.
So I want to revisit Jake's try just there.
Yeah, man.
Just to talk about it really quickly. So when he gets up into that mantle, he's not fully getting into the corner.
You're totally right.
Right? He's kind of keeping he's sagging out, and that's stopping him from really going all the way across his body to the finishing hold.
Now, do you think a lot of that is because he's hesitant to put so much weight on that foothold? He's trying to, do the thing where you don't quite commit to the foot, you keep your body out, keep a little more weight on the hands?
It might just be that the opposition between the two points is really hard for him to find the balance in, right?
You did mention he's one of the tallest guys, so yeah, that makes total sense. So we'll see. He might have to work a lot harder than Zach to get in there. Zach, not a short guy or anything.
No.
But I mean, Jake is a tall one.
But he is I'm pretty sure he's the tallest boy in finals.
Yeah, I'm confident that's probably
Which is kind of cool. I like that there's a short field, for the men. It's never.
I wish there were more 6'3" guys in finals. Give me some hope.
Oh,
I look at all the World Cup climbers. I'm like, how am I supposed to? Well, I mean Jan Hoyer, but the dude just campuses, doesn't do anything else. Nobody cares. Anyway, Madison Fisher in the last 16 seconds. This should be her last attempt. She really needs to get past this bonus, but
she's thinking about the bump.
It's flummoxed every single girl so far.
She's definitely thinking about it.
That hole's getting so many fingertips. This is basically the inverse of men's one. Finally, a problem that the girls are just going to struggle.
And she's going to rush to get back on.
I just don't know if it's worth the energy at this point.
Okay, so both of these climbers' times have timed out, so this is their only go. And Jake just
using too much energy. Madison as well. Again,
well, you can see he's shaking his head. So again, the question that I often ask athletes when I'm debriefing with them, did that affect you, and did you carry it to the next problem? Because I wonder if they're Jake's still fairly new to making finals. Although I said that, and I just realized he's also competed for Canada a bunch, so maybe he's not.
Anybody can compete for Canada. You just got to make sure other people don't decide to go travel.
No, that's not true.
But no, I think you're absolutely right, and I think at a comp like this, where everything is going to be powerful, everything's going to take energy, you have to be more disciplined about how you spend your attempts on these climbs. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're going to a wall that's a slab or vertical after this. Like, they're finishing this roundup on a 45 haul up, not jugs.
Well, yeah, and there's
don't blow the energy now,
no rest. There's no reprieve. There's nowhere that you're gonna stand get a no-handed rest and get stuff back.
Yeah,
it's so much overhung.
Yeah, we got Jacob Elliott on men's number 2 there, taking an early fall. Pia Graham keeping it composed on women's number 2, but she's still through the easy part. She's got to figure out how to get.
So I think this is a boulder that she can do. I think she has I think this is, well, I say that and commentators curse.
Well, you talked about the complexity of the lower body positioning underneath the volume. I think all these girls could do it, but I think it might be one of those things where you got to either be lucky making an early good decision with how you handle your center of gravity, or you just have more wisdom than everybody else and
maybe
you figure it out. But that's it's a big pull because your right hand's up on the bonus, your left hand is still underneath the volume, so you're pulling beyond your entire body to get to that next crimp, and you're out of balance, right? You got to figure out something to get past that point, and so far the girls haven't shown exactly how to do it just yet. You get a nice moment of a quiet reprieve. These are the moments where you can build some tension. Get a chance to, take a sip of water, relax a little bit. Same for the climbers, maybe not keep them pumped up so much. It's nice to have a moment.
Yeah, but it only needs to be that, just a moment.
Exactly.
So Pia's going to get back on, and I don't know, maybe she's looking a little tired to me. I watch Pia Graham climb a lot, and she doesn't look as on point as she usually is.
You look at her grip in her right hand there, and the thing, she didn't have a full crimp. She didn't have the grip she wanted for sure. Just the index finger was just pointed straight, so she clearly couldn't hold that much weight in that hand. Yeah,
she might just be tired from qualifiers. Qualifiers was no joke.
Yeah, well, not only that it was a hard qualifier, she was the second climber out, and climbing started at 9 o'clock this morning.
Whoa,
ISO opened at 8 o'clock. She's from Toronto, so you're talking about at least a 45-minute drive. The weather wasn't that great.
No, the weather wasn't that great this morning.
She had an early morning. I doubt she's a morning person. What climber on earth actually is? So she had one of the worst starts. Well, all the athletes had to wake up at the same time, basically. But, it's not like this has been an easy day for these climbers.
No.
Let's see if Jake's just not able to really control that right hand, which is interesting. Jacob, yeah, we'll call him. I think we would call both of them Jake, but there's two of them. What kind of competition is this? Come on, Pia. Let's see that. Yeah, and it's not just her though. It's all the girls so far haven't found a position where they feel comfortable giving that big old reef off the right
But I
hand.
think that's the nature of this boulder problem, and I really like stuff like that where, again, it's about insecurities in the climber and them not feeling confident in their ability to stay on the wall.
No,
I
you're
think
right.
That, this problem to me is really interesting, and I really enjoy the challenge that it's creating for these women.
Yeah, and honestly, when I looked at it, it wasn't one of the ones that excited me. I looked at it, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of options going on, but after finally touching those holds and realizing, oh, there's no security in any of this.
Yeah.
It's between one bad option and another bad option.
Yeah.
Jacob actually managing to get past his first
So
volume.
he's up on this. And now you have to remember, this is not
a dynamic move.
well, no, one, it's not a dynamic move, but also it's like the camera angle is playing tricks on us because it looks less steep than it actually is, and you've got to get right into that corner and be opposing between those 2 points so that you can get all the way across your body to that finishing hold.
Again, the starting position is on a 25-degree angle. It's not vert, guys. It's 25 degrees. When he gets into the volumes, it's over to 45. So your weight is just pulling you around everywhere. That'll be it for Jacob. And big crowd response. I don't know. Jacob's one of my favorite guys to watch climb just because I know he's so positive. He's an excellent guy to have a conversation with.
And he's just always so psyched.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He lives for climbing right now. Couldn't ask for more. I heard his dad is starting up a hand salve right now.
Oh, cool.
Like, it's a family investment. They're psyched on climbing. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to the Elliots who are living the dream, putting it all into the climbing. And of course, these are not only unofficial but also incomplete results. We still got a couple more climbers to go on men's and women's number 2. And who do we got here?
Dylan Barks is on men's number 2, and your girl Leah Wachowski. Tyler's hope to win.
I put money on Bronman to win that or to get that one top, but I'm Team Leah for this one. I got faith. I believe in her. I've seen her climb.
Dylan looks so cashed out on this boulder, dude.
I'm really mad at how good he looks on this.
He does not look like this is an issue.
Talk about a guy that's not afraid of weird outdoorsy crimps, which these crimps are incredible. If you haven't tried these climbs out or these holds out, make sure you go to Working Class Climbing and pick up some of these. Just really nice for the modern era. They're smooth, but they're inconsistent. Each part of the crimp is a little bit different.
That is
the best
actually,
attempt so far.
Yes, that is the most controlled I've seen anybody go into that. Yeah. And I think you're right. You just get your left foot down. Yeah. You flag out with your right, and you cross in a really controlled manner. You lock that stuff in, and you just gotta you gotta cross statically.
Yeah. Now I know Leah doesn't know anything aside from the fact that no girls up top yet, but I really want her to take a good long rest and look at that and say, okay, I was so she's only a couple moves from the top. It's not like she's got much beta to work out. Take the opportunity now to get a good rest in so your next attempt is even better than your first, rather than just piling attempt on attempt on attempt.
Yeah, and what you're saying really makes sense, but it's counterintuitive to the competitor because I'm sure that right now in Leah's mind, if she does this next go, she gets more rest, right? That's
true too. Marginally, I guess you get a couple extra minutes, over a span of 20, 25 minutes between the climbers. But, in the 4 minutes you have to top, you got to use your time wisely. Dylan, what is
Dylan doing?
Dylan? Oh, I love this. Okay.
I don't think that is at all going to work, but I commend him for trying.
Dylan did find the only piece of slab climbing on this entire boulder, and it's the top out.
The 1.5 foot. Okay. All right. Whatever you want to call slab climbing, that's not it. That's a head wall.
Yeah, no, you're right. We should talk about these walls. These are concrete walls, so they were built 2008 by Rockworks USA. Now, a big thing to note is that they've been climbed on for a long time, and as much as this concrete starts out gritty and with a lot of texture and really good for smearing, especially in the top-out areas that have seen years and years of climbing, that friction is gone. You were smearing on glass, which I wouldn't recommend anybody do when you're 15, 16 feet off the deck with these walls.
Oh, yeah, and like Tyler's saying, they're tall.
Yeah.
These walls are tall.
Yeah.
So Dylan's going to get on here. He's got a minute left. I don't want him to try that beta that he was just trying because I think he should know that he's seasoned enough to understand that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
He hasn't tried palming yet, and I'd like to see him switch into the palm, get into that corner.
Come on now, Leah. I want to see this thing go. Next hold. Just give me one more hold. Make me the happiest guy on earth.
So You can see Leah's really readjusting on that right hand. It's because these holds are so rounded that they don't make you feel secure on the wall. They kind of, there's not a lot of bite to them.
They force a lot of doubt because you say, okay, my hand doesn't feel good. I wonder if there's a better option to how I can grip or how I can approach all these holds, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that uncertainty makes you try different beta when, in fact, you had the best beta possible. You just wished it was better.
Yeah.
But it can't be.
Well, and you have to trust that, and you have to make the decision to actually physically try and maybe hit that next gear where you, like, lock this crimp down.
Exactly.
And just maybe just, like, close hand that crimp.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you close the crimp, it feels insecure, but it is actually better.
Yeah. And we're really down to it. The timer has lapsed, so this is the final attempt from these climbers. Dylan's gotten soaked. Dylan throws it away with a foot slip. Leah Wachowski, give me some power, Leah. Damn. Well, that's as far as all the girls have gotten on this problem so far. So again, guess who it comes down to?
I wonder if
PK
PK is going to do this boulder.
On the women's number 2.
I really do. Like, maybe this boulder is just a touch too hard.
It could be, but at the same time, I need these climbers to step up to this level.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the girls that came out can send that problem. I just need you to commit to the best beta and just grab the hold, guys. Like, this beta's not tough. Grab the damn hold.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, as a root setter, sometimes we second guess things and we make decisions last minute that during a qualifier you see a bunch of people that you didn't plan on coming out and crush, and then you start to guess whether or not your final boulders. Because again, remember that the root setters don't get to see these final boulders. They set them on Wednesday or leave them.
Yeah.
And then they get to see them again Saturday night. So like there's 3 days of just like thinking and wondering, and then you see a qualifying round with a bunch of competitors who just demo your boulders and you're like,
exactly.
Maybe that thing is a little too easy.
Yeah, man.
I'm not saying that they did tweak that. I don't know that information. But it's really hard coming from a root setting perspective. These athletes with what is that girl eating? And I want some of it.
And Luca's going to lock this down as well. Actually
he
grabbing the wall.
He didn't look as solid though.
Zach looked better, but Lucas gets it.
But maybe this is the start of a ball rolling. I don't know.
Well, Lucas definitely has a momentum.
Yeah.
People still trying to catch up to him, and we're done half the boulders.
Wow, that was quick.
I know. Hey, we're already halfway through this thing.
Maybe. Man, I'm going to bed early. No, I'm not. I lie to myself all the time.
Nobody's going to bed early.
I know.
That's just not happening. Again, these scores in front of you haven't been updated with the most recent tops. So Bronwyn Karnas has shot to the top with 2 tops in 4 attempts. And for the boys, Lucas Uchida is going to be in place number 1 with 2 tops. One from top number 1. He was the only guy to top number 1. And one of 2 tops on men's number 2.
So if you're just joining us, we're just rounding out the first 2 boulders. So we're at the halfway point, really. I'm Dustin Curtis. This is Tyler Norton from Plastic Weekly.
Yeah.
And I think it's Olivia Wyatt and Ben Agro, yeah. Agro, yeah.
Okay, we gotta revisit our predictions really quick. So I was talking all about Leah at the start and Zach Richardson as my favorites. Who are your favorites again? Bronwyn Karnas and Lucas Uchida?
I had BK and Lucas.
See,
yeah.
Your picks are looking really good right now.
It's the root setter thing, man.
I'm a little bit jealous.
I watch a lot of comps.
Yeah, man. Well, we're back right to it with our 6th place qualifiers, Olivia Wyatt and Ben Agro. Now the women's climb, you've seen a lot of these kaijus from Kilter, but for the boys, you're looking at some massive move. Oh boy!
Wow.
So you can see what we're dealing with.
That looked a lot further,
3.
but okay. So this is what's really interesting in this section of by this point in the comp. It looks like the root setters wanted to kind of pair up the jumpy, showy boulders almost. You know?
Yes. No, I agree.
So for both the girls and the guys, this is kind of where they get to test that flying skill, the coordination. It's really about, like, this looks huge. Good for Ben.
Let's talk about how short Ben is. Like, by far the shortest guy in the field. He's been the shortest kid forever. And if he knocks this thing down with pure psych, I'm going to be the happiest dude around.
Sick.
Talk about a finish from Ben Agro. How psyched is this guy?
Man, when you're in your first finals and you top anything, you feel like like his psych must be on level 15 out of 10. He's
going to ISO with a smile he can't wipe off his face.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to be training for the next 6 months, just being like, remember that time, guys, where I topped a boulder at Bloc Buster?
Well, I was talking to his dad a little bit before the comp. He was recently out at the Quebec Provincial Championships, and I think due to a mistake, he actually ended up having to compete in the Youth A out there than the Open, but he smoked Youth A. And whatever you want to say about the difference between Youth A in Ontario versus Quebec, but his dad was saying he really thinks that something about just getting that first win, something that shows you, hey, I can be one of those guys on the podium.
It definitely starts your psych going off, and you start to like believe, and that decision and faith in yourself is what starts to it's what motivates you to do circuits in the morning when no one else wants to climb with you.
Exactly.
It gets you to the gym. It makes you do that really bad drill that no one really wants to do.
Yeah, now Olivia up here, she's getting all points up on this volume. She's got the bonus locked down, and these are pretty big holds. They're not necessarily juggy, though. They're all pointed in a slopier direction, and as big as that next kaiju is, it's just not friendly enough unless you get really deep into it.
Yeah.
It looked like her feet were maybe locking herself a little bit too far in, but now that she knows she has to reach back a bit further, hopefully she frees up some flexibility.
Well, and like you're saying, these holds are deceptive, right? They really round out. They look like big buckets, but it's more of a radius thing, and it creates a lot of...
yeah, you can have a palm full of one of these holds
and still not
be touching a jug.
Still not good.
Yeah, no, it's some gross stuff. And we see these holds a lot, and sometimes I think, man, maybe the climbers are getting a little bit tired of these. Maybe the viewers are a little bit tired of these. But the options you get with holds like this, little rotations, little changes in the orientation, just the way they've been shaped, the subtleties in those jugs mean a lot to route setters. And especially when you're under pressure, when you're making big assumptions, things really change for you.
Well, and especially because these holds were sponsored, right? They're part of the sponsorship.
Yeah. This is all from Kilter, part of the sponsorship.
Yeah. So when route setters get as a route setter, when I get a box full of these things, that's all I want to do is just play around with them, right?
Exactly.
It's like Christmas for me.
It's Christmas every time a box shows up. Now, when you look at that kaiju, of course, it's rotated in basically the worst possible way. So you do have to get into that side pull.
Yeah, and I think you have to rotate into it a little bit. So as she starts to pull her body right, she's going to start to get the better part of the hold.
I really want to see a toe, though. I don't like this heel. I don't think that's enough to get the momentum, especially considering how bad the hands are. I know it can be hard. I know the angle is odd, but I feel like you're not going to get the power out of a heel in that situation.
Yeah, and maybe she just needs to pull with her toe just a little bit more, switching to a toe, and then it might be that it needs to be all one motion, so she might need to use momentum to get up into that toe, and sliding the hand up into that good part of that kaiju on her left hand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, our results here showing most of this stuff. Now, Olivia, she's going to be going into the fourth problem without a top. I know she wants one real bad. Keith Graham, I feel like, has a really good chance of getting this one when she gets out there. So hopefully we don't end with anybody without tops, but we'll see what goes on. Zach Richardson, like nothing.
You can't be surprised. This guy loves dynos. So, of course he's going to crush this boulder. And,
easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, nothing else to say about it. Zach is going out, getting ready to get on the.
Okay, now see, Veronique has adjusted her left hand all the way to the top. She's still using that heel that you're talking about.
Give me the toe, Veronique. Come on. Yeah. It's definitely looking like a pumpy setup, and you got to keep some feet in there. But I saw her trying to get the toe in. That's what I want to see. I feel like that's what can take you out to the.
Geez, that volume sticks out so far. Why? The walls are so steep already.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's nice for me, I don't get a chance to watch Veronique very often, and honestly, I'm having a really good time watching climbers who aren't from around here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome that we get these contingents of Quebec people and Americans. I mean, Climbers Rock has always drawn the small American contingent of...
the boys from Michigan, the Ann Arbor crowd. Yeah. And that's something I'd love to talk to them about sometime, but being an adult competitor in the States, that's a hard life. Because there's not a lot of comps that draw people from different places. Canada, as widespread as we are, just like the States, at least we've got these big population centers in Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, BC. So you've got a good field. But in the States, if you're in Ann Arbor, how big is your field? You've got to travel to really climb with other people. So you might as well come to Ontario, hang out with us at Bloc Buster. It's basically the second Saturday every year of January.
Oh, this is interesting. This is kind of an interesting...
Again, I think just that hold, the bonus hold, is not really enough for people to manipulate to get their feet into those weird positions.
But even having two hands on that bonus hold, you can tell that her body was a little bit higher and out from underneath that volume, right?
Yeah.
So
again, but the left hand the hand on the leftmost side of the volume is really grabbing nothing. That's the slopiest, worst part of that bonus hold.
Yeah.
So it does give you more. I think you're right. I'm curious if she's going to want to do that again. But really, she's got to find the foot if she wants to get anywhere out of this bonus. It'll be neat to see.
Yeah. So while we have a little bit of downtime, we should give a shout out actually to this is part of the Tour de Bloc. Correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is the first stop of 2018. Of course, they had a stop at Seven Bays Bouldering at Halifax earlier, so they technically opened the season. But 2018 is a different year, so we're going to say we're first. How's that?
That's fine. But it's actually been 15 years for the Tour de Bloc.
Oh my God!
And that's so cool. I can remember the first year of the Tour de Bloc. There was 6 comps, I think.
I think something for Luigi, the founder and the operator of the tour, in the finals today, or not in the finals, sorry, in the open qualifiers, we had, and technically she's not open, but who really cares? We had somebody born 2004 compete in the qualifier. She came top 10. She wasn't alive when Tour de Bloc first started.
Oh my God.
All right? So this, the effect that Tour de Bloc has had on organizing Canadian competition and teaching all of us gym runners, teaching all of us route setters, teaching all of us comp organizers how to run a good comp. Like, Luigi's given everybody an education on how to make this happen, and after 15 years, all of us are getting, we're getting okay at this.
We're not bad, yeah. I mean, there's a live stream at the Tour de Bloc. This is crazy.
No kidding. And with 18 seconds, Veronique Goslin from Montreal is hoping to put down the right beta on what should be her final attempt. We'll see if she does the match on the bonus, but I'm just looking for a toe on that right hold on the volume. Give me something to love, Veronique. Come on now. In this match, looking good. She's got the juggy part in the right hand.
So I think this is okay. Like,
I'm not. Oh. And just like that,
wow.
I'm super wrong. And she's got to get the top now. I won't take anything less, Veronique. Let's see this thing go down.
I think she's chasing podium right now.
Come on, V.
You can see the handprint. You can see the chalk that she had on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, well, let's talk about, it's a 45-degree wall at that point. She's going to a hold she hasn't touched before, and of course in preview she wouldn't have been able to see that angle, so I understand that that's a rough section. 3 or 4 attempts in, that energy's running out, but man, that's close. And really what it's doing is setting up our next climbers to get that
And
top.
I'm just going to give another shout out to the route setting crew because they deserve it. This is such a good show. Matt Phillips leading a crew of Jordan Rock, Jamie Roy, Nathan Lewis, and Mark Lee. This show is for real.
Matt Phillips has been the head setter for less than 2 years, really just over a year at this point. He's had the opportunity to learn from Aaron Eden for such a long time, of course, and then everybody in the community contributing so much. But talk about being somebody that hasn't had the ability to try running these comps for very long, and he has stepped into the position and just gone
and really showing the
gangbusters
shine of like running a young route setting crew, right?
Madison Fisher is all teaching us a lesson on how to make your first attempt go down. Using the wall, locking the finish. That's what it takes, ladies and gentlemen.
She's definitely chasing podium. And you can see like her looking around for the judge, because she's just so hyped. She's like, where I want this top. Someone count it for me.
That's the stuff I'd like to see. The last time we saw her, just last year, she came second place at Bloc Buster. I know she's got her target set on Bronwyn. She wants to knock her right off the top of that podium.
Whoa.
So we'll see what's going to happen, but it is going to take a little bit more because BK still has yet to get on this thing. And after a top like that from Madison, I feel like Bronwyn should walk away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little surprised that Jake is taking another go at this, considering that
maybe somebody texted him and told him, "Hey, the guys in the live stream are telling you to calm down a little bit, bud."
No, it's just this is a lot of what I think Jake is good at. Is just like this runny, jumpy kind of stuff is like kind of in his wheelhouse, and I don't know why. Oh, now I know why.
I'm not convinced that the one hand is going to go on
this
thing.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Is I think that he's really confident in sticking that with his one hand.
Yeah.
And I think you do need to go the double.
It's not worth it. I'm sure you can stick it, but especially in his position where he gripped the hold at the furthest rightmost position, his momentum is going to slide his hand all the way across that massive Waco. So if it doesn't burn his hand off completely, it's not going to help him.
Oh, Jake, what are we doing here?
This is getting fun now.
Whoa,
show me something cool, Jake.
What are we doing?
I'm a little concerned.
This is interesting. Yeah, no.
That's a face plant right there from Jake
Yeah,
Elliott.
and he knows. He's smiling. He's like, no, that's not the way. I'm not going to try it that way again.
Got a sense of humor about it. I can respect that.
But stuff like these boulders, although they've been done a ton, this style of runny do, there's a lot of intricacies in each runny do. And one of the things that is interesting about this is you have to throw yourself totally into that corner and commit to that corner before jumping out. It's kind of like a two-stage almost.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. The face of the wall he's going up is very overhung. It starts 35 degrees overhung.
Well, it's in
the
Climber's
bottom.
Rock. Of course it's overhung.
Exactly. It goes up to 20 degrees. Now that is how you throw away a top, letting the foot slip out on possibly the largest jug made in North America. Jake is kicking himself for that.
He might be tilting. You can see on his face there. Okay, so you can see now he's trying to like calm himself down, bring himself back because he recognizes that was just a lack of focus because there's no reason for that foot to not stay on that hole.
Yeah, and with 45 seconds left, he knows he's got to get it done now. Now this isn't a particularly difficult problem if you can get the momentum, but he's going to be.
And interesting that he's catching like cross hand, right?
Come on now, Jake. How is this happening twice, Jake? Come on, bud. Okay, he should be taking a rest all the way down.
Yeah, absolutely, and
he
needs to calm down. He needs to actually commit to that hole. He's looking for the crowd to support him, but that's not as much as like I like seeing that in athletes. I really want to see him just calm down.
Yeah,
Jake, come on.
It's this. Best of luck to Jake. Hoping he one hand again. 7 seconds left. This is his last chance to score this top.
He's got to get on right now.
A massive upset if he does not lock this down.
All right. Calm it down, Jake.
2 hands, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And you can see how tired he is already.
Well, even jumping like this is going to take its toll on him, right?
Yeah.
And now he really needs to commit to that last hold.
See, look at his foot. He's not using his toe. He's letting it ride.
But now he's trying to go statically because he's cautious. See?
No. Well, look at his foot. He's not using his toe. He's riding on the arch of his foot, and as he pushes over to the right, that foot rotates to the right, and it means all of his weight's going on the Velcro of his shoe.
No, don't do that.
Okay. Come on, Jake. Give me. Yeah. It killed us. It's killed him.
I mean, the people can't see my face, but I have.
That is a knockout attempt. That's gonna hurt him. That's a gimme problem.
I feel like that's a boulder that everybody gets, and now he's definitely taken himself out of podium placement.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You know, Ben Agro, the shortest guy, man.
Whoa, Ben Agro is
up on the board, man. Up on the board. Now, the interesting thing, though, is Dylan and Jacob, I expect to top this, so it will come down to how many attempts they put down on it. Jacob Elliott out, ready to give attempt number 1 on men's number 3.
And I really like it when competitors do this, and they just get on the boulder, especially in this format where you have a chance to preview already. And like in ISO, you're sitting there, you're running through it in your head, and you come out, you've got 4 minutes. I really like it when competitors come out ready to go and they just get on the boulder right away, because I think it maximizes their amount of time. And
yeah, so long as it's a sign of confidence, I'm happy. If it's disregard for things you haven't figured out yet, I'm not psyched about that. Pia Graham just missing the hold.
I don't think
after
it's
bonus.
Pia's night tonight, man.
I'm worried because you look at that and how much power she put into it, and if she's on a downward swing today,
that's a flash. I'm almost 100% sure.
Good stuff from Jake Elliott.
That's awesome, man.
And now Pia, though, the question is going to be, can she recreate even that attempt? Like, I'm sure she was in ISO, getting herself together again, trying to find that remaining energy, but I mean, getting to the second last hold.
Well, and this is their second round, right? You've got to think about that too, because as the competitors warm up for their second time, they start to feel the things that they felt in the qualifiers. They start to feel that fatigue, right? And so when you're warming up your second time in the day, you're starting to think like, oh, maybe I'm really tired. Maybe I don't want to be here. Maybe I want to be in bed instead, you know? Especially if you got wrecked in qualifiers. I'm not saying Pia got wrecked, but it can be a contributing factor re-warming up the second time.
No, you're totally right.
And maybe you don't.
She managed to stick it, though, this time. So now if she can just lock down. But look at, she's second-guessing
so
her grip.
re-gripping on that. Like, she's not confident in the hold.
That is a heartbreaker, 2 in a row. She is not happy about this, and she's going to take some time just to sit her ass down. And
she doesn't look happy at all.
Yeah.
You can see, right? Like, she's done.
not psyched right now.
That's not a happy Piagram.
Yeah. Now, one thing is, Pia's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, she's got a good head on her shoulders,
Yeah.
and she's a seasoned competitor,
Yeah,
so she can come back from this. But again, coming back to the fact that it's that emotional toll that starts to pay dividends as you compete and as you go, especially for events like this where it's one day, 2 rounds. It's a lot to invest in yourself and invest in boulder problems.
Well, all I can say is she's 21. She's been competing for 10 years or over 10 years. If anybody's got a chance to really get herself out of that funk, I think it's Pia.
Well, maybe getting mad is the thing to do.
I want to see the anger come out on the wall.
Oh, yeah, she's...
One more move, Pia. Let's get this thing done. Show them how it's... 1 minute, 10 seconds left for Pia Graham. Is she going to walk away, or is she going to give it one last shot? But yeah, this one's punching her.
No,
around.
she's gonna give it one more go. But right now, she needs to be settling herself down and either fueling that anger to send or calming down to be confident.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah, and it's really hard when you're a competitor to have these conversations with yourself while you've got a time limit, right?
And let's talk about the hundreds of people that are sitting inches away from her, you know, telling her, come on, let's get this thing done. All these eyes on her, kids that she coaches, people that she climbs with, people that have known her for years and years as a competitor. If you haven't competed in a finals in front of an audience like this, one of the loudest audiences in Ontario, you don't know what this pressure feels like.
Oh, yeah,
especially considering she doesn't have a top yet.
I didn't even think about that.
That is a lot to deal with
That's
in your
a lot.
head on problem
And especially
number 3.
falling off the finishing jug twice.
Yeah, no, that is a big load.
Was it twice or 3 times?
It was twice, yep. Making the dyno look excellent. She's going to lock this bonus down, no problem. And we're just going, there we go.
There we go. Okay.
I want to see you, Pia. Give me something to be psyched about.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That is a rough finish for Pia Graham. But I'm glad she got on it again, giving herself a chance, and she'll be going into the 4th problem, looking to lock down at least one top. But, you know, she was in a similar situation last year where those tops were eluding her at the beginning, but she got the only top on women's number 4 last season, an excellent finish.
That's
to
awesome,
last
yeah.
Bloc Buster. It put her, you know, just off the podium, but it was a great way to finish the comp, and I hope she's got that in mind that last year she came out and cleaned up at the end and really gave herself a good set-up. I believe we can get it one more time. Now to our 2nd place qualifiers, Leah Wachowski and Dylan Barks.
So I like that Leah had the brush in her hand ready to go, you know? Like, it's these little intricacies that, like, competitors do that makes me love this sport more and more and makes me want to be more involved. It's just, like, little things like that where Leah already has the brush in her hand. She hasn't even turned around to see the boulder, but she knows she's brushing.
Exactly, man. And Dylan Barks going for the slam dunk, swinging off the rim and locking this one down. Let's see if he can get bonus and not do the foot slip that really wrecked Jake.
Well, and this is his 2nd go.
It is his 2nd go. It will be his 1st top if he can get it, but he should earn it.
That is insane.
Leah could have a 1st attempt, and that's going to put this problem, man.
I think this is a risky boulder. Like, there's a lot of foot slipping. I think
you can see the smear in that bonus hold where she was stepping.
And I think the girls aren't really paying attention to that foot enough, you know? Like,
well, I mean, look at that situation. You're hanging back on a 45-degree wall. Your feet have never been what they want it to be, and all you know is you have to do the biggest reach of your life to go up over the lip. The foot might not be what you're thinking about, and this is reminding everybody that, hey, you got 4 points you got to worry about, guys.
Absolutely, and I think, like, paying attention to that foot might just be the answer, but
yeah.
I want to I want to go back to talking about Dylan Barks just locked that last hold off at his hip and did that move statically.
Yeah, that was gnarly. That was something to pay attention to. Definitely something that we'll look forward to when we
that
when
boy
we get
has
to
been
watch
training
this
his
again.
lock-offs.
You know, he's an enigma to me because he's been gone for so many years. All I remember back when he was 18 here for the first time, we were like, who is this guy and why is he beating everyone we throw at him?
Well, sometimes that happens at comps, though. You got this guy that shows up that's not really on your radar, and then all of a sudden he's throwing down big boulders, and the route setting crew's going, guys, tweaking. It needs to happen right now.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, and Leah here, she's repping Climbers Rock in her shirt, of course. This is Bloc Buster, presented by Climbers Rock. And we're going to see if she can make the home crowd proud on her 2nd attempt of women's number 3 here. And I'm glad the dyno has been pretty chill forces you to get set up a little bit, and then it surprises you with a challenge.
Well, I think it's more of the intro, right? Like, it's just like a little chill intro to this really interesting situation on this volume where you're on slopey holds, your feet aren't great, and you've got to do big pulls.
And big pulls she does, locking down the top second attempt. And that's keeping Leah in contention, fortunately, with only one more climber to come out onto women's number 3. So a nice finish from her. Her and Dylan cleaning that problem nice and quick. I think that's the first time we saw both topped.
Both go down really quickly.
That's
so these are updated but not finalized because we still have Lucas Uchida and Bronwyn Karnas to go.
Yep, no, you're exactly right now. So if Lucas, of course, gets a top on this thing, he'll be up in first again. Bronwyn Karnas, an easy first place if you can get top on this. Everybody's left catching up to her. I think it's going to be another one of those attempts where we see both of those climbers at the top. Okay, let's do an over-under. I say 60 seconds. 60 seconds, both climbers to the top of men's 3.
I think that's way too quick.
You don't think so?
I think they're like.
I think both of these climbs are done before we see 3 minutes on the clock.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see a clock yet,
I don't see a clock, so I can't make bets. But if we'll confirm in the future for that bet.
I think you're wrong already.
Ooh, Lucas throws me under the bus. Come on, Luke.
Man, you have not been on tonight.
I'm losing a lot of money, but Bronwyn Karnas is gonna be.
So it's about this foot.
This is going down.
Oh my gosh.
What
am I talking about? It's not about the foot. It's not about anything. Bronwyn's just going to do it.
Bronwyn's just using this as a warm-up, a chance to smile in front of a crowd, and I mean, she's locking this down.
How many goes has she put into all the boulders so far?
That's a great question.
It's got to be like 5 or something.
I think that is her 5th attempt in total. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So in terms of this boulder for Lucas, this is nothing that he shouldn't be surprised by this. He's seen stuff like this before.
Yep.
I think he's just under. What's the word I'm looking for? He's underestimating this jump.
Yeah, I think you know that the hold you're going to is a jug. It is the juggiest of the Wacos that you're landing on. But even knowing it's a jug, that momentum really forces your hands to shift around, and if you're not ready for that, it can make you let go. But this should be it. Second attempt, unless there's some sort of East Toronto, or sorry. There it is. It's done. It's over.
You don't want to finish that sentence.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to curse anybody, so I'm glad it's over. I'm glad him and Jake didn't land in the same fate.
Okay, so now we move on to our last boulder.
Oh boy, man! I'm excited to see where the results are looking right now, so we can get an idea of what people really need, because this is the final chance, right? We already know some people are not going to win, but there's a lot left on the podiums.
So for the women.
First of all, we got to say Bronwyn Karnas is in first place with 3 tops in 5 attempts.
Yes.
So really you're looking at a race between Karnas, Fisher, and Wachowski to lock down that podium.
Is it 5 attempts? I don't think she fell.
But that was her first attempt on that problem.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And for the boys, I mean...
Lucas Uchida is in first with the C, and it just updated there.
There's the update. Yeah,
so really the story is more about, I think...
Lucas and Zach are the only guys that can win.
Yes.
That's what it's all down to. I know where my money is. I know where your money is. I know you're leading right now. We'll see if, it's doubtful that Lucas is going to fall if he sent the first 3, but, we'll see what happens. Anyway, we got Olivia Wyden for her last climb of the night, and Ben Agro on men number 4 alongside her. What a classic way to finish Bloc Buster Climbers Rock. 2 paired problems going straight up the 45.
So this start on women's number 4 is interesting. Olivia hasn't actually, now finally she established on the start, but you can see it's 2 points on the right hand hold and 2 points on that big left hand lower hold. So I think this is an interesting start. I wonder what it's going to look like for the rest of the girls. These holds, although the stream makes them look big, they're fairly rounded and not. And again, the camera angle is kind of fiddling with us a little bit because this is actually a 45, so it's really steep.
It's very steep. These are the avalanche ledges from Kingdom climbing. They're all going to be like big flat edges. Some of them are a little more uncut than others. On this angle, of course, they all become pinches instantly. So it's really about compression all the way up this climb, managing those thumbs and making sure you're using your feet to generate a little more compression so you can take that focus off your hands. Same thing for the boys on the E-Grips 2-Tex bubble wraps. Again, like the edges, not good. They're flat. Pinching is way harder because of that second slick texture where you get no friction on at all. And a great replay of Olivia's fall there.
And just to like revisit that replay really quick, just to talk about it, you could see that she had her hand on the undercling, but without keeping the tension between the 3 points. She had her heel and her left, and you're smearing on that volume while creating this opposition between your heel and your right hand. And so coming into this undercling is going to be really powerful, and it's going to expend a lot of core energy.
Yeah, exactly. With all that compression going on your legs, you still got to find a way to create the upward momentum to make that undercling comfortable.
Can I just say that when I turn around and see Janie Midges dancing in the crowd, it's kind of awesome.
Shout out to JJ, keeping the party hype. She's, I don't know, if we had a cheerleader at Climbers Rock, it would be Janie Midges. Every single Bloc Buster, always dancing. She's the DJ's favorite fan. We're so glad to have her watching, competing in rec earlier today. Man, you talk about members who are valuable parts of the community. There's
just legends.
Not a lot of climbers that bring so much experience, not just in climbing, but in life. Talk about, a life and just acting as role models for all these young kids, the ones on the screen right now, getting a chance to kind of share with them how to cope with life and how to cope with climbing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
These are the kind of members every gym wants to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's a pillar in the climbing community.
Yeah, shout out to JJ and her husband, Steve. So glad to have you guys here. We're down to under a minute already on these climbs.
And Olivia hasn't given another go, so I'm wondering if she's really feeling this pump. So the thing about we haven't talked about men's floor at all,
no.
and I'd like to visit it now. Is these bubble wrap holds are horrible.
Yep.
They eat chalk. They just whatever is on your hands is going away.
Yeah, there was an English muffin manufacturer where the slogan was something about the nooks and crannies. That's what the bubble wraps are. You want the chalk on the part that you touch, but all the chalk seeps into those little nooks and crannies.
And they just they get greasier and greasier as you climb on them. But so when Ben is starting, you can tell he's getting this early bicycle. It's because that first hold is so bad.
Yeah.
And especially on that angle, it's not good at all.
Yeah. It's unbelievable the amount of propulsion you need to generate to get to the third hold on men's number 4, sorry. Time is up, so Ben is off the wall. He's done his round. He did get a top, which is a huge achievement for Ben in his first finals. I couldn't be happier for this guy. Olivia doesn't make it happen. She is going to be walking away pretty frustrated today, I think it's safe to say. Not getting to see much. The old take off the shoe replay. But yeah, that's a rough way to end the night. But man, I'm just psyched to see her here at the finals in Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, she used to be an Ontario girl, and now she's living in Montreal.
Yeah,
but
we miss her.
Yeah.
Who can say no to Montreal climbing? Talk about some of the best climbing in Canada right now.
Man, Montreal.
Yeah. For such a gray, sad city. No, I shouldn't say that. Montreal's great. No, I make fun of it because I'm from Toronto and nobody's better than us.
Oh, my gosh.
That's just how it's going to be. There's nothing you can do about it. Sorry, everybody.
Oh.
Who do we got now? We got our 5th place qualifiers. Zach Richardson on his final climb representing Climbers Rock, the big old orange gecko. And Veronique Goslin, also from Montreal, Team Block Shop.
So I'm a little surprised that Zach didn't stick that first go. This seems to be right up his alley.
This climb is so hard. This start, I think, the amount of downward pulling you're putting on this start hold to get momentum, I feel like...
Oh, yeah, just starting, you're putting in, huge amounts of tension.
Yeah, you need a couple attempts to make this thing happen. I'm psyched for Veronique right now.
Yeah, she's trying to get up. You can see she's trying to readjust into the top of that hold.
Press into that volume so you can really get the undercling.
And now this is the move that I was talking about. You've got to create all this tension. And this move right here, you're sapping your core because you're just standing on this flat wall.
Yeah, she keeps that right foot solid, keeps it pushing up into the undercling and makes it locked. We'll see if she... yeah, and you know what? She was too comfortable with the left hand to let go of it.
And I actually think it's a right-hand drive-by.
It has to be a left hand going up.
Left-hand drive-by, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she was just too comfortable. She didn't want to let it go.
So you can see Zach right now, the amount of tension he's trying to put just between those two holds to stay on.
Yeah.
Men's number 4 is no give me, and it's...
The start deserves a bonus statement itself.
Oh, yeah, man. You establish, I'd be if I was judged, you get off the ground, I'd be like, oh, he gets a bonus?
Yep. Yeah, and here's that replay. She was too comfortable in the left hand. You can see she's slipping with the right hand, so she decides she wants to use the right hand, get to hopefully a better hold. But as you can see, it's a Gaston, and she can't even get there. She needs to rethink that for her next climb.
Well, and just to touch on one of the finer points is that, like, because the wall is 45, those volumes are really just flat walls. They're not anything like, it's not like they're juggy and they're good. She's just smearing on these dimension volumes and hoping and praying that her feet stay on while, like, creating this tension between, like, these two holds that are not great.
Exactly right. Yeah, you know, as much as we say you got to press down to get into that undercling, you are really smearing against the vertical surface, so it's pretty complicated.
Whoa, Zach.
Ooh, but you know what? He knows it's possible. That's the best hold of that Rampart line of the dual text bubble wraps. And this is the most Climbers Rock thing you could expect. Is Zach Richardson one-arming a jug dyno?
Yeah, I'm
on
not
the
surprised.
45.
I'm not surprised.
Like, can you do this comp without this moment? Like, what are you going to put in the highlight reel if you don't have this?
Yeah, so looking at this replay, like, he does find the sweet spot on this next hold.
Oh, we're going to rewind a little bit.
So
look
at the slow-mo. Oh, we're so fancy. So you can see he gets most of his hand on it. But it's one of those moments where I think it was more like a recce burn kind of thing. Like, it wasn't...
Sorry, a what?
A reconnaissance burn, you know? You, like... when you slap a hold just to make sure that it's actually a hold and it's holdable, you know?
Okay, yeah, I'll let that pass.
Oh, come on. We use it all the time.
A recce burn.
A recce burn, you know?
What kind of Mississauga nonsense is that?
Oh, my gosh.
All right, I'll let the runny do slide, but recce burn, I don't know. I'm going to need some people in the chat. Maybe tweet at us at Plastic Weekly. Is recce burn a thing anywhere outside of Dustin Curtis's mind?
Oh, my gosh.
Now, Zach, a disappointment. You know, he was hoping you would stick at that time. 28 seconds left. Final climb of the night. This is, you know, he's got to top this if he wants to
And I
win.
like the way that Veronique is starting this boulder. This is really cool because she's showing, like, kind of that block shop mentality of, like, figuring out sequences and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is really cool and interesting. And what I'm really hoping is, like, as her time runs out, she's fresh enough to continue this, like, really thug out, like, very powerful boulder.
Now we'll see if she can.
Yeah, I don't think.
Not enough.
I don't think you can do that move without the heel because I think.
Yeah, and Zach Richardson, unfortunately, last attempt couldn't stick it, so the highlight reel this year is going to be without him throwing down hard on the 45. You can't have it every year.
No,
but I mean, this is...
Okay, so revisiting this, see, she doesn't have the heel.
Yeah.
So when you're coming into this undercling, you're coming in at, like, Mach 3, man. Like, you're not sticking that hold. And if you do, it's going to, like, just expend all of your core energy just to like push between that volume.
That's exactly right. And as the scores show, with Zach not getting his third top, that means Lucas Ushida has won this thing. Lucas Ushida is finally earning his first place at Bloc Buster. Now, seeing the results here, Bronwyn's still yet to come out, still Leah yet to come out, so I'm not going to claim anything yet.
But now I think the story in the men's field is more about that second and third place.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. We got all those guys with only one top. If one of those guys can get this top,
can
that's
Zach be
throw
unseated?
Right? Zach, I think, you know what? We'd have to look at the scores again. We'll wait for later. We want to see these attempts. Madison Fisher on her final climb. We'll see what you can do in an early attempt, and actually sticking it even though the foot popped out.
Yeah, I think this boulder is right up Madison's alley. Like,
yeah,
she's a thug, and like this is all just thuggery.
Yeah,
like look at that
right there.
Wow,
no heel at all. There's just the Ontario Girl Thug Club.
Okay,
Madison Fisher is the president.
I don't need. I know.
Sticking the Gaston. What's going on right now? Madison Fisher is sending this thing less than a minute.
She just put that thing to bed.
That is over for Madison Fisher. She's had enough of this comp. She just wanted to show everybody how it's done, and that is our first stop of women's number 4. Like, it's nobody's business. Madison Fisher controlling the Gaston. This isn't a good hold, guys.
No, and that's not. I don't think that's the intended sequence, but I think it's cool that she did it that way.
It goes to show that Veronique's beta was possible, but the power wasn't there. Madison walked in and said, hey, I got this bag full of power here. Does anybody need it?
Yeah, and, well, I'm sure the route setting crew was like, please don't break that hold off the wall because we don't want to like put the volume back on. Like,
nobody wants to pull a volume off the wall. Nobody wants a technical at this stage in the comp.
I'm sure that, like,
Jesus,
there was a slight cringe of worry. I've been on route setting crews like that where it's like, oh, God, please don't pull it off.
No, exactly.
Anytime when I was setting a comp and Marshall German competed, I was like, Okay, boys. First things first, no underclings, because the Red Stallion can pull them through the wall.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. That's too bad. Jake not making too much progress up on this. But
Is he just like checking out his fingers, being like, I wonder if you guys are good for this?
Well, let's be honest. What else is there to do on this problem? Talk about like a problem that just stares at you from on high and says, are you sure you want to get on this thing?
Oh, man.
And even if you stick that dyno, then you're looking at doing what looks to be like either a Gaston or a Cross into a tiny little slot, matching that.
Oh, no.
probably.
The first move is really the formality of getting beat down.
Yeah.
Because even the last move on this boulder is a double clutch dyno at the last panel.
Yeah, we were talking to Caleb Thomas, another setter here that you get to work with, and he mentioned this one problem, saying that last move is something he's not sure if it goes. Now, Caleb, excellent setter. I got to say the climbing today was a little bit lackluster from him. But
and he's going to be the open bouldering chief of nationals this year.
Excellent. That's amazing. So we're going to see him at Up the Block with you then, I guess.
Yeah.
Finals. That's March 3rd, right?
March 3rd,
Open
yeah.
Nationals. I'm so excited for that comp. This has been such a strong year for Canadian climbers. I can't wait to see more from these guys. But again, this,
I honestly think that Jake might have overextended himself throughout this round, and maybe he's a little tired now.
I'll be honest, I think that's a theme with a bunch of the climbers throughout today. I mean, you're so desperate for those tops, but, you are just getting your energy sapped every attempt.
Well, and this move is really intricate. You have to let go of the things that are keeping you on the wall in order to and create momentum through that in order to get to the next hold. So go ahead.
This is what I'm talking about. For the last three problems, every climber's been saying, no, I'll do one more attempt. I'll do one more attempt. I'll do one more attempt. And making mistake after mistake after mistake. And right here is when you have to cash in all those mistakes that you made, when you have to pull an incredibly powerful move. These guys got to preview these climbs. You got to be able to identify that as a really tough
Absolutely,
climb.
Absolutely. I fully agree. And just to add more factors to it, I'm sure that starting hold is just eating chalk.
Oh, yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Big ups to Jake Tiger, who has put in so much energy and attempts into this comp. Like, I love watching this dude, I'll be honest.
I think he put the most attempts out of anybody in the comp.
Yeah, for better or for worse. Yeah, absolutely. He left his heart out there, and we're happy to see it. I don't want anything less from my climbers, to be honest.
So BK needs to do this boulder in order to unseat Madison Fisher.
That gets me really excited.
Yes.
We got something to get pumped about. And
so now
we're going to have Jacob Elliott out, as well as Pia Graham. And Pia Graham, as we already know, is this is her last chance for a top. I know she's not going to be happy if she walks away with zeros in the first column of the score. So praying for Pia. And Jacob, he's ready for the power.
If Jacob does this and Dylan doesn't, then Jacob will podium.
That would be a great weekend for Jake. But when it comes to, problems that you're hoping are the thing that put you on the podium, you're not thinking about this problem. This isn't the problem where you keep in your back pocket. You're like, no, guys, it'll be okay.
Oh, I don't know. I think Dylan Barks is sitting back there being like, I've got this boulder, this one, the 45, the bad holds, the American. Yeah, no, this is my boulder.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I have a feeling, I've got a lot of faith in Lucas. The Lucas train is running full steam right now, and I think he can knock down men's number 4. But for everybody else, I think after the punishment that they've been receiving, Lucas has been flashing a bunch of his problems. He's got the energy left over. I think he can do it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Lucas getting first place. I think that's already been decided. I feel like this second and third place.
I don't think anybody else can do it. I think it's all Lucas. But Pia's got the bonus, and you can just see the struggle right now. This has been a long day. And
I feel like this is, I feel like it's been a long day for Pia, and I think she's starting to lose steam.
Yeah, talk about dealing with getting back into school after the holidays. She's been sick,
and so you can see on this replay, the readjustment and just the sliding down.
Yeah.
Every time she's readjusting, she's losing chalk, she's losing effort, and she's trying to find that good spot, and it just keeps.
It's a sign of not having confidence in something that you would normally have confidence in.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Pia on her best day grabs that hold, doesn't have to readjust anything. Even if it's the worst part of the hold, she says, no, I can work with this.
No, I'll just crush this. I'll make it better. It's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 minutes left. Pia definitely fighting through the mental struggle of just being tired. And Jake still looks optimistic, though. That guy's just, ready for anything. I love watching this guy climb.
Yeah. This boulder is so hard, though. Men's number 4 is wow.
It just makes it better when somebody tops it, man.
I agree.
You got as a root.
There's a lot. This is a very spicy boulder.
You got to place a bet, and when it pays off, it's going to pay off big.
Also, just looking at the aesthetics of this wall, I like that the volume placement is the same on both sides, and it's because in qualifiers, the men's problem and the women's problem, women's number 2 and men's number 3 were the same bowler, and I thought that was really well done by the resetting crew.
Exactly, and I want to get back to that, but seeing Pia,
Pia's up there.
But I want to see this go. We're talking about seeing the readjustments, just not making it happen.
Yeah.
But you're right. Going back to the qualifiers, talk about a fun thing to do when you have the men and the women climb mirror problems. It's a chance for everybody to look and compare each other against the gender gap.
Yeah, and so like this shot is perfect because you can see that those volumes are aligned exactly the same. And so what happened was where men's number 4 was, there was women's qualifier number 2 and men's qualifier number 3, I believe, was where women's number 4 was, and they both climbed the same exact holds, the same exact moves, and it was really interesting to me. I walked in, and that was one of the first things I saw, and I thought, like, what a cool idea, and what an interesting way to bridge the gap.
I think it's just like a cool, fun thing that I want to see more often. Frankly, we got to start addressing where that gap is, and I think it's good for men and for women to start addressing their strengths and weaknesses compared to each other.
Well, so when I was living out west, Simon Parton was doing that on a lot of locals. And I think it was really interesting. He would reuse the men's boulder for the women's boulder and vice versa. And I think it's just a really interesting idea, and I would like to see more of it.
Yeah, exactly. The timer is under a minute.
I love this split screen. We got some great production.
Yeah.
We should give the production company a shout out. Actually,
we will.
Okay,
we will.
We better.
Not enough for Jake. He's shutting down his day.
Come on, Pia. Oh,
just slipping off. Rough night for Pia. So
she doesn't look happy at all.
Not happy, but let's be honest. Competitive sports, there are good days and bad days.
Oh, yeah. Like, when I was competing, I could definitely tell you about times where I went home and was just like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Exactly.
I'd be living with my girlfriend at the time, and I'd be like, just stay away from me. I'm going to go over here, and if you could leave, that would be really great, because I just want to hate myself for a little while.
Exactly. But you got to say, if you've been competing for as long as Pia has, with all the good days and bad days, that's what counts. Coming out to every call no matter what, and you got to take the risk.
Absolutely. So, well, and it's part of that lesson, right? You bounce back. You keep maybe it motivates you to train harder. Okay, exactly. So Dylan Barks, this is
not to mention Leah with the brush in her hands already.
Yep, same as usual.
So
but
you got some money on Dylan Barks sending this. I gotta say, I'm skeptical. I gotta give this to the Canadian with Lucas Uchida.
Oh, that's not instilling confidence, Dylan. Come on, man.
It's a first attempt. It's a recce burn, as they say, from wherever you come from.
Did you hear anything from Twitter?
I haven't seen anything yet, so I have a feeling. No, nobody said anything, so I think they're all silently thinking,
"Oh my God,
is this guy?
No way." Maybe they just don't want to let you in on the secret that is the recce burn.
Maybe everybody wants to leave me out of the recce burn. That's fine. I wish I was left out of runny do. I'm sure there's a better word for that too.
But that's a Caleb Thomas term.
Apparently that one's here to stick, so whatever. Off-balance power.
Wow.
Something that Leah trains plenty of.
Does Leah have a chance to unseat Bronwyn?
Well, Bronwyn has the chance to win this thing with a top on this. So while Leah, if she has a good top here, maybe we'll have to see the scores.
Oh, Leah.
Oh,
yeah.
My God. And there's your left-hand drive by.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. This is it.
That's a way to finish your round. Leah is psyched.
And that was her first go, right?
That was, I think that was her first go. Unless, in our conversation about, ridiculous vernacular, we missed an attempt.
Dylan's not.
Yeah, talking about your boy Dylan Barks here.
He's not instilling my confidence, man.
I'm a huge fan of Dylan. Soft-spoken guy. Works really hard. I love seeing him out here. I just don't think at this stage in the competition, with so many attempts, that he's going to somehow magically create the energy for this. But I mean, I'm open to being surprised. When I look at this boulder, I think just raw power, and that's what I think of when someone says oh, Dylan Barks is coming. I'm like, cool, hide all the power boulders because we need, and especially in this gym, it's you can't hide the power problem. I completely agree. I don't doubt his skills at all, but I think the difficulty of this round and ending on something so just nails hard is a cruel way to finish this up. And I think it's too much for these. I think Lucas, with the limited number of attempts he's put in to earn his tops, I think he'll have the energy to do it. For everybody else, I think this is just a big taunt in the face saying, hey guys, you thought you were strong, eh?
I don't know, man. I think like this is. He's getting closer. Maybe he finds it. Maybe he finds that like third gear.
1 minute left.
Having said that, no one stuck the first move, so I don't know. There's still like a whole lot of boulder left to go. Like this is a tall drink of water.
Yeah, we still haven't seen the third move.
Yeah, I know.
Jeremy Dowsett of Climbing Hold Review says, Recce Burn sounds like some scotch left in a bottle. Doesn't happen. So Montreal at least says a hard no to the Recce Burn.
And
here's a replay of something we've been seeing a lot of, trying to keep control of that hold to get the momentum, but like, I mean, what a shutdown. All the momentum pulling you away from the wall.
I think the closest we've seen to this hold being stuck is Zach.
Yeah. I got probably only 2 or 3 pads on it, but again, just not enough to hold you in on that attempt.
I think he got more on it. I just think he swung out.
I think it was only a little bit. He was off pretty quick, but yeah, we'll see what Dylan can do.
It's
United
so
States is behind
tricky.
him.
Like this is such a tricky move because again, like I can't overstate how hard it is to start the boulder, and then having to create that momentum to move up to that hold, let go of all the things that are keeping you on. Like that, this bicycle is probably the only thing keeping you on that hold. It's not your hands.
Exactly. Yeah, man, tell me about it. Here's a replay of Leah's excellent top, just like holding these ridiculous
And I love
crosses.
that she read.
Give me this drive-by, Leah. I want to see this.
But I love that she, like, being a seasoned competitor, read using the volume that's out to the right.
Exactly. No kidding. Talk about a pro top from Leah Wachowski. And, of course, the easy finish on that top hold, which is actually backwards. She's grabbing the worst part of it right now. That's what you got to do sometimes.
But it's on that slab section, though, right?
Yeah, Climbers Rock has slab, right? And
so here are the women's results. They're not updated because Bronwyn still needs to go. So if she doesn't secure bonus,
she's stuck in second place.
Yeah.
Second, but she can claim first place with the top.
And now Lucas has already given away. Oh yeah, those are almost final. That's actually final.
Menzie is done.
Yeah.
You have won that half of the bet. We'll see if you can get that correct guess with Bronwyn. Honestly, at this point, I'm not expecting a flash from Lucas, but from Bronwyn, she can knock this down in one go.
Yeah, she's looking really calm and collected, and she already. Yeah, look at that. She's like, I know where I'm going. It's called the podium, and it's in first place. Give me my $1,000 check.
But she's going to go right hand.
Yeah,
like
of course
Madison
she is.
Fisher, but of course she but now if she gets confused with the feet, she can't hold on to that gas.
Confused with the feet. Look at her. She's crushing that hold.
How could I possibly doubt her? Ladies and gentlemen, your male champion of female champion of Bloc Buster, Bronwyn Karnas.
Although I bet you Bronwyn does some of the boys' boulders too. So.
Oh, definitely, yeah. With like nobody's business. What a way to top. Getting the toe in of all things there. And just finishes up.
No, she just looks so calm and collected and like ready to do it. Like the whole time she was on that boulder, she was like, I wonder how I'm going to spend my $1,000.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you buy for $1,000 when you're a climber? Like that's what, like 2 pairs of solutions now?
Dude, that's road trip money right there.
Oh, she's finishing up grade 12. She's not going to. Well, you know what? Summertime.
College
maybe.
fund?
Yeah,
College
exactly.
fund?
Yeah, who knows? All right, Lucas Uchida, he's already won this thing. We're just trying to put a cherry on top now. Frankly, the root setters just want to see this top, and that was maybe the best attempt we've seen so far.
I don't know. Zach's was closer, I think.
I got to put it on Lucas, yeah. Personally, I'm putting it on Lucas. Oh, what an angle. You can see how bad
that hold is, yeah.
He's not even pinching that. He's just crimping onto the bubble wraps themselves.
Yeah, no, you can tell exactly how bad. And see, that look on his face is like, I don't know if this boulder goes.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, he's laughing. He's smiling. He knows it's locked down. I just want to see a damn show, Lucas. I know the crowd out of Boulders in Etobicoke is psyched right now. They're proud to be welcoming another medal to their collection with this excellent win from
Man,
from
his
Lucas
trophy
Uchida.
case must just be like, it needs an extension.
Yeah, no kidding. They got to do a renovation on that house, man. 1 minute, 18 seconds. He's probably got time for 2 more attempts.
Yeah.
Let's stick this dyno, bud. Make it happen.
Oh. See, when it comes that close and you're a competitor, you start to get a little jazzed because you're like, yeah. Like, look at how close this is.
Yeah.
He's got secure on his, like, it's when the pinky pops.
He's the only guy.
Pinky.
He was the only guy to bring the second hand up. He just took an attempt, missed it again, so he's now down to really the last few seconds of this. He's as tired as he's been all night, so things aren't looking good. But man, if I could get just landing the dyno, not even the bonus, I'll be the happiest guy in the world. But I mean, talk about an exciting round so far.
And talk about like a tall glass of water that this boulder is, man. There's this is only the first move. This is
you know, he came into this problem knowing he had won it, and this is just saying, hey, bud, keep that ego in check there.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for the previewing portion of this. The boys were probably like, oh, man, we're in trouble. Like, oh, boy.
This should be the final attempt from Lucas Uchida.
Is his time up?
This is and we get the
Oh,
stick.
my God.
This could happen now.
Did you hear that power scream, though? I don't know if you guys could hear it on the live stream, but it was just epic.
I'm worried because this problem only gets harder. These holds are so bad. I don't know if it gets beyond here.
I don't think it gets easier, man.
He locks the bonus. That is a confirmed win from Lucas Uchida.
Wow, congrats to Lucas Uchida and BK. I believe I said that they were going to win.
Did you say that?
I think I did.
I feel like maybe those were my picks. I don't know. Maybe.
So we're gonna look at a replay of Lucas's last go right now.
Talk about an excellent attempt. It took him a bunch of tries to figure out how to make it happen, but gets the two hands. This Gaston turns out to be pretty easy, and the top just doesn't work out for him. But this is the high point, and you know what? Over the next couple minutes, I expect all those boys to get back on this problem.
So I wonder if flipping this to an undercling would have made this this move easier, because if you flip to the undercling, then you have the bicep locked in, and you can kind of lock that off to reach to the next sloper in a more controlled manner than what just keeping it as a Gaston, because then you're like, with this lock in, you probably can go a little bit more static, and this hold is really bad.
No, you're totally right. But the thing with that move where you're in that double side pull in that slot, it wouldn't be unusual for climbers rock setters to really want you to go up and hit both of those. Maybe
you're right too.
So
okay,
we don't know. We finally have final
in the second place. Ben Aggro moved up.
Ben Aggro. Man, Ben Aggro for me is the success story of this comp. I couldn't be happier for this guy.
Really?
In climbing, we see so many climbers spend years and years and years trying to get through their career. Constantly, there are some kids that win all the time. Zach Richardson is one of them. He's had a very successful youth career, early growth spurt, a lot of success. Somebody like Ben's been training with him for years. They're out of the same gym. They work together, one-on-one. He's always been in that shadow, and this is the moment where you break through that glass, and suddenly you have a world of possibility where you say, yo, I can do this, I can show up, I can get tops in a final in an open category, come at me now.
Absolutely, and I think also that competitive friendliness will help build that relationship between the two of them, but it will also fuel that fire. There's nothing more that gets you psyched than like throwing down with your friend, but then like coming close. I remember when I was competing, me and my buddy Yves Gravel, we would play, we would trade places all the time. Eve would beat me, I would beat Eve, and it would fuel the fire.
Yeah, exactly. And now, of course, the comp is over, but the boys are not done with this
problem. Lucas, flip it.
Climbers cannot let a problem go on top. That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, Lucas.
Hey! If only he had one more minute.
If he had one more go.
It would have gone down. What a way to finish for Lucas Uchida. That's just psych right
That's
there.
so cool.
Thank you guys for tuning in with us. We're not done yet. We're going to do the podium presentations, but we're also going to do some athlete interviews after that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to Lucas. We're going to talk to Bronwyn because we want to hear what those problems were like. Talk about hard problems.
Well, I just want to talk to Lucas about the last problem, because I want to be like, hey, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, I want the inside scoop. I want to know from you, though, of all those problems, now that we've seen them climbed, which one was the highlight for you? Would you give the award to best problem of the night?
I think that's a hard award to do, and I'm not copping out because I will say something. I will choose one.
This is a cop-out.
No, I will choose one, but I want to go through something that I really like and find interesting when I look at a round like this is the intricacies of the problems working together. And I think that for the women's round, I think it was really cool that there was kind of an up and down kind of emotional roller coaster that the girls had to go through. You had boulder number 2, which had those really slopey kind of crimps, but they created a really insecure feeling.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you move into big, slopey, jumpy holds. Problem number 1 had, again, big, slopey, jumpy holds. And then problem number 3 or 4, you've got a lot of compression and security.
Yeah.
So the round really worked together to create an ebb and flow of an experience for those girls. On the men's side, you had right out of the gate, one of my favorite things to do, and I don't do it anymore, is putting boulder number 1 is like kind of hard. I started doing it a while ago because I always found that like competitors didn't come out from ISO warm. There was a mentality that you could like boulder number 1 was the warm up.
That was
right?
a warm up, yeah, man.
And so I really like seeing it. I think it's been a little overdone now. Jake Tiger photobombing. But I think it's been it's an interesting idea to propose to the climbers that, hey, you've got to be warm when you come out. It's time to go. It's not,
I totally agree.
Here is, like, it would have been a totally different story if boulder number 3 was the first boulder, because then that's kind of like, hey, welcome to finals at Bloc Buster. We're really happy you're here. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, man, I feel you.
So in the men's field, I think like the story is more about having the ability to read more complicated sequences, especially like boulder number 1 and boulder number 2 was no gimme either. Yep. I liked that boulder number 2 added a technical aspect to it, and a patience. There's something to be said about having to like get into that corner and mantle out and being that patient and really focusing on getting into that position instead of just rushing through it. Yeah. Which I will say is like an interesting flavor for Climbers Rock. Yeah.
So in my question though, which I asked about 10 minutes ago, and you've yet to answer, what do you think is your best problem of the round?
Okay, so on the men's side, no, I'm not picking one boulder because it's really 2 rounds. And so on the men's side, I definitely, as much as I would love to say men's number 4 because it was really cool and it's really interesting, I want to give it up for number 3 because I think that number 3 was really interesting and not something I would have expected to see from Climbers.
My men's number 1, with all the white technique stuff, like you said, it wasn't a gimme right off down to just go. Climbers have to work through that process of bad edges and terrible slopers and, trying to find a solution out of it. For me, that was really refreshing, especially in Ontario. I want to see as much of that as I possibly can. So whoever set men's number 1, that's a big old gold star for me. Huge fan of it. Of course, big technical holds. Like, what can you say about that stuff? Some good Canadian shapes in this comp, guys. That's how I like it.
Okay. And on the women's side, as much as I want to give it to women's number 2 because I thought it was really interesting, the show goes to women's number 4.
You think so? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the show goes to women's number 4. Oh, actually, I want to change that. Women's number 3. Those blue kaijus. Sorry, I know I'm flip-flowing a ton, but like that the way that problem played out and how it was just a nice little intro dyno to something that's a little bit more subtle. There was a lot of subtlety in that finish, and I think that made it interesting for me. Yeah.
I think for women's, I would have to say women's number 2, if I have that right, the red problem with the kilter lowriders and the winter small crimps. I think for me that was the definition of CR power, but we talked about again presenting you with a ton of options. And suddenly that simple idea of overhang hauling on crimps is not so simple. You get the volume pushing you away from the wall, losing the vision, losing the control and the tension underneath. I think that one, just getting to see the girls work through all those options and figure out a way to the top, I think that was a highlight of the girls' climbs for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to congratulate you on, first of all, on winning the bets. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta eat some humble pie on that one, unfortunately. Whatever. There'll be another comp and another comp. I'm going to save my bets for the Ontario Open in 2 weeks.
Okay.
If you're a big fan of watching Ontario climbing, seeing a lot of these names, 2 weeks from now on Saturday, we're going to be live from Boulders in Etobicoke, where you can watch more climbing, a lot of these same names, and even more, and it'll be one of the qualifying events for nationals. So I hope you tune in for that. But I mean, this broadcast, let's shout out There Live.
Oh, man. Our production company kills it.
Yeah, I can't say enough about these guys. The enthusiasm, how much effort they've put into this beyond what the contract states. The willingness to get to know climbing, which a lot of broadcasters don't understand. These guys have put in all that time. They've set everything up for us. You know, the night before, they're saying, hey, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. And they just make it happen. So thanks so much to Nathan. Brent is the director and the camera crew. You guys have knocked it out of the park. I hope if you're looking at streaming solutions for your competition, which you should be, I want you guys to consider There Live. We've had such a blast with them putting this all together.
And like this is our second
for us, yeah.
Yeah, second time for us. How many times for you?
This is my third time streaming in total. My second with you. Though.
Yeah, but like this production company was with us at Tour de Bloc Championships last year, and they're just phenomenal. Yeah. Like, honestly, what Tyler's saying is so true. If you're looking at streaming, you should use these guys. They really know their stuff, and they're willing to put in the extra.
Yeah, I hope they weren't planning on getting out of the business right after this. Cause I think
could you imagine? They're like packing up right now. They're like, oh, God, why are they?
Yeah, no kidding. But, I mean, streaming, we got to broaden the audience beyond just the people we can fit in the gyms. Because this gym was packed tonight, right?
Yeah.
We can't add more people, otherwise the fire department would be busting down the door and telling everybody to get out. So to support these climbers, to support these gyms, to support these competitions, we got to get more eyeballs on this. The only way to do that is to stream it live and show it out to the world. So thank you so much for watching. Again, we're not done yet. The podium's set up. You can see it right behind me. Yeah, you see it
back there, right?
Yeah, so we're going to throw the mic over to Max when he's ready to go. He can run through the podiums, and after that, we're going to bring back some athletes for interviews so you can get the inside scoop on how hard these problems were, which I'm really excited for. Do you want to interview Lucas or Brown? We'll trade. We'll each take
we're going to trade.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll take Lucas.
You'll take Lucas? Okay.
Yeah.
I know Bronwyn, so that'll work out.
Yeah, that'll work out.
That'll work out perfect, too. So coming into this comp, this Bloc Buster presented by Climbers Rock, did this change any of your preconceptions of this comp? Did it, outshine or just was it different from what you expected?
Well, so last year when I first saw this comp, the one thing that I remember, it was like it's such a show, and Bloc Buster is really, in my mind, that's like what Bloc Buster is it's not sanctioned by our governing body. It's a standalone comp, part of the Tour de Bloc, and it really, like, something about this venue makes it magical. You stand in the crowd, and even last year, the boulders were excellent, the show was real, and I could feel that anticipation. That's what I go to comps for, is like standing in the crowd and just feeling everybody wanting someone to send a boulder.
No, yeah, exactly.
That feeling is palpable in this gym.
Yeah, it's so much investment from the owners, from Climbers Rock themselves to do this, but you walk away with a different feeling, and Bloc Buster means something to climbers. All the climbers I've talked to, they want to know what it is. They want to make sure it's happening every year, and that speaks volumes as a gym owner, as a comp runner. You want people to be craving your event again. So,
well, and this comp has history, right? Like,
you're right.
You did, you and Aaron started this, didn't you?
Well, let's talk about how far back this goes. Of course, it used to just be a Tour de Bloc at Climbers Rock.
Yeah.
It's been in January for the last bunch of years. I remember when I was like a green setter, you were setting this thing. I was learning lessons from you. You used to MC this, and then after you went out west, I took over MCing for the last 5 years. I busted a lung doing that last year.
Oh my God, I remember that.
I'm off the mic, unfortunately, because this thing just falls apart. But I mean, we both have this long history with it, and yeah, it's been every single year you grow a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody learns to get better. Every member of the staff starts to figure out a little bit about the process, and it wouldn't have happened if we just hadn't decided, hey, we're going to do this comp,
and we're going to do it every year.
Exactly.
And it's going to get bigger and bigger. And like the first Bloc Buster was. It was just me and a mic and a bunch of route setters, and we didn't have lights, we didn't have any production, we definitely didn't have a live stream.
Yep.
And now look at this is crazy. There's production quality lights. We got a DJ that killed it in the back.
Absolutely, man.
We've got you and me doing the live stream. We've got a full production company doing it.
Yeah, man.
It's really great, and it's great to see comps evolve and grow into this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and all you can pray for is that the audience grows with it too. And when we talk about growing the audience, let's be honest of who we're talking about. As much as we hope that climbing goes beyond the climbing world, and we hope all those strangers and those people that aren't involved in climbing tune in, we can't expect that.
Yeah.
The first thing we need is for climbers, the people that go to your gym right now, we need them to get in the habit of watching climbing, right?
And just coming out on a Saturday and watching a comp.
Exactly,
right?
Man. Yeah, so if we give this opportunity, if we give, you, myself, all these climbers, we give them the opportunity to say, hey, Saturday, that's the climbing night. That's the night that there's always a comp on, right?
Yeah.
Hop on YouTube, bam, right there, live from Kansas, from Texas, from Ontario, from BC, and you get the idea of, I can watch climbing whenever I want, and it's my favorite thing. giving that opportunity to the climbing world.
That's what I want to do
really
on Saturday
important.
mornings, man, is just like watch replays of comps. It's
Exactly.
like I'm an adult now, and instead of watching cartoons, I watch climbing comps.
It only changed like last year, though.
I'd still watch it. Okay, all right.
But yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so we were talking about the results a little bit earlier. Is there anybody who just this time around didn't quite live up to your expectations? Noting that it was a very hard
so hard. It's such a hard comp. Like, one thing that Bloc Buster is always good for is, like, there's a beatdown coming for someone.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I would have liked to see a little bit more out of Pia Graham. I know that maybe she's a little tired. Maybe she's just getting back to climbing and school and that work-life climbing balance thing that everybody has to deal with. But I also would have liked to see a little bit more out of Jake Tiger as well.
Yeah, no, and I already placed my bets. I think I wanted a bit more from Zach. Some of those attempts just weren't enough for me. But Madison Fisher being so close to that win, right? So close.
She can
to
taste
that
it.
win.
I'm excited for next year. This is going to be good.
Just comes down to attempts. We're going to throw to Max Summerly, the MC, right now. So
on the podium.
Exactly. We're going to get off the mics for a little bit. So we'll let Max take over, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes with the podium interviews.
One last time, I will mention our sponsors, Kingdom Filter, E-Grips, Working Class, So Ill, and Technic. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you all for your patience tonight. Thank you for your cheers. I know the competitors appreciated it. I'm going to hand out some awards that came from earlier in the evening. Hopefully people are still around. Thank you for hanging around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up basically our top competitors in some of our categories today, and I will read out the top 3 in the rec category. So to start with, I would like to announce our Open Scramble champions. And on the women's side, you probably, those who climb around here know her well, Mateja Vukovic. Come on up and get something for me. Congratulations. And on the men's side in the Open Scramble, I want to call up Seth England. Seth, are you still around? He went home. I'm sure somebody's around who'll be able to make sure he gets his gift. Big round of applause again for Seth. I'm reading off my super official sheet here, of course. I would like to call out the top 3 here in the rec scramble. So I'll start with third. And on the men's side here, in third place, we have Hans Scheiman. Hans, you still here? Round of applause for Hans. Let's put it together for Hans. And in second place, we have Eric Sanderson. Let's put it together for Eric Sanderson. And in first place in the rec scramble, and please come up and accept something for me, is Ryan Thompson. Awesome. Way to go, Ryan Thompson. And I am sorry, I am probably not going to pronounce your last name right. But in third place on the women's side is Ariel Boyam. Let's put it together for Ariel. And in second place, we have Alexandra Smith. Let's put it together for Alexandra Smith. Not here. And in first place, let's call up Sarah McDonald. All right. Oh, there she is, Sarah McDonald. Oh, that's Alex. Is Sarah still here? All right, let's give a round of applause for all of them, please. And you can head back down. Thank you so much. And because of the way the categories break down here, we do also have our under 20 champions as well. And I'm going to read out our first place here. So I do have something for both of them. So if Alexandra Smith could come up, please. Well done. Congratulations. And you've heard his name once before. We have Ryan Thompson again. Congratulations, Ryan Thompson. Awesome, and I do also, hopefully you're still here, I want to point out our under 13, which is a mixed category champion, is Joseph Gray. Joseph, are you still here? Amazing, well done. Here, a little something for you. There you are. You're welcome. All right, let's give a round of applause to all our rec and open scramble competitors today. All right, and so I do have some fantastic cash prizes to be handing out to our competitors this evening in the open category. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in 6th place, and I will call up Olivia Wyatt. Olivia. There she is. Great climbing, Olivia. Congratulations. Yes, perfect. All right, and in 5th place, folks, Pia Graham. All right, and in 4th place, we have Veronique Goslin. Veronique, come on up. All right, folks. And in 3rd place, we have Leah Wachowski. Joining her on the podium in 2nd place, Madison Fisher. And you may have figured this out already, hometown hero, Bronwyn Cairns, 1st place. All right, let's all put our hands together for all the female competitors today. Congratulations. Awesome, thank you. You can step down now. Moving over to the men's side, in 6th place, Jake Tiger. Perfect. And in 5th place, a huge, huge congratulations for our hometown hero, Ben Agro. Perfect. And in 4th place, I'd like to call up Jacob Elliott. All right, and hailing all the way from Ann Arbor, once again, we have Dylan Barks in 3rd place. Congratulations, Dylan. I think we've heard this name a few times before, everybody. 2nd place, say it with me, Zach Richardson. All right, and let's make it nice and loud, everybody. He put on a show tonight. In 1st place, Lucas Uchida. All right, one more time, folks. Put your hands together for all of our climbers today. Thank you all for coming out. Climbers Rock will be doing this again year after year, so we hope to see all of you out. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you again to Climbers Rock. Thank you to all of you. We'll see you soon. Have a great night, everybody.
And there are your podiums. What an unbelievable comp, recapping that podium. Of course, Lucas Uchida winning in men's, and Bronwyn Cairns here with me, taking the win in women's with on like a knockout score. Like, can you ask for a better night?
No, not really.
So first thing I want to ask is, when you went into finals, knowing who you were competing against, these 5 other girls, what did you think your chances were going in?
Well, pretty good, but like that everyone else is good too, and like it could be anyone really.
Yeah, no, it's with this field especially. All of these girls have won for the most part, right? And I know some of them are girls you've looked up to when you were younger, and some of them look up to you now that you're getting older too. In the preview, you finally got a chance to see all these problems. Did your initial impressions of the problems in preview change once you finally got onto those climbs?
Yeah, definitely. Like for 3 and 4.
Okay.
Like what I thought was going to happen really was not what I did at all.
Okay.
It did not
all right.
go like
what were you expecting for a climb like women's number 3 on the blue kaijus?
Well, the first move is pretty simple. Like it's going to be a jump. And then I thought I was going to hand heel match my left hand and like cross back.
Okay.
But that just felt terrible when I got there.
All right. But I mean, you had no problem adjusting. Another awesome send on that climb. Is there a problem in particular that was your favorite after tonight?
I think number 1.
What about it?
It felt the hardest for me.
Really? Because it was, honestly, it looked like one of the simpler problems where like all the holds are relatively the same. It was only really 3 moves basically, but a lot of girls were falling, especially at the end. So you got to tell me about that little crimp that you were throwing to, like how bad was that thing?
It was it was good like once you got onto it, but I think a lot of girls like flipped the bonus. But I did not think of that. I was just like straight pull, and it felt really hard.
When you're this strong, you can make it happen. So that's fine. We got to ask because we want to see more of you climbing. What's next for you? What competitions are you looking at going into the near future?
The rest of this season, I have the boulders comp,
the Ontario Open,
and then after that, I think just Open and Youth Nationals.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch you talk about an awesome comp, getting your second win in a row here. I know Madison Fisher wanted it. She was second last year. You shoved her back down into second, but nice job. That was awesome. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to give you a high five, first of all. Yeah. We're going to switch over to Dustin. He's got an interview with Lucas. This might be a dirty switch. We're going to see what happens. But we're going to go to Lucas right now, okay? Wait on 1 second. Yeah.
Was I wearing it right?
Can you hear? Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Okay, I'm here with the winner, Lucas Uchida. So we're going to talk about boulders, okay? And not the gym, but the actual boulders.
These boulders.
Yeah, these boulders.
Okay.
So walk me through the day. First, how did you feel about qualifiers?
Qualifiers went pretty well for me. I don't know if my head was totally in it, but I still pulled it through. I thought the boulders were they weren't the hardest boulders physically. They weren't super, super hard, but they were really easy to screw up, and
And so it just was about focus and more
focus and I think execution.
Yeah,
well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
excellent. And then so finals. Problem number 1. How did you feel about it? All those white technicals.
All the white technicals. Well, at first I thought that you had to start facing out because they've done that in years before.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty classic, showy way to
start out the comp.
Yeah, but that ended up not being the way. Whoops. It was one of those problems where I needed to get on it and feel the moves and kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
As I was trying it.
Okay. I want to ask you about the piggybacked hold on men's number 1. How good was that hold? Because we, the viewers, we saw just a little dot attached to those GT5s. Yeah. But was it good?
Yeah, it's good.
You don't sound convincing.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. You don't want to like swing out and Superman off or anything, but it's good enough that you can, if you have like something to control you, which was the undercling.
Yeah, for sure.
Then it was okay.
Okay. Men's number 2. For me personally, this was one of the problems for this comp that I thought was really interesting, and it didn't really fit in with what I thought was Climbers Rock boulder problem. A little bit more technical, definitely with the mantle and everything like that at the end. You had to like get into that corner. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was more technical. It was still physically hard, like really hard. Yeah, those crimps, they're good, and they're
not
in-cut,
good,
but in a way they're not good. They're kind of sharp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, enough to make.
Do you have soft skin though? Are you one of those people that like?
No, but when I got to the start holds, I definitely saw blood on the start hold.
Oh.
Yeah. So someone had
someone bled all over the holds.
Yeah, someone bled a bit.
Okay, number 3 was your standard run and jump, runny do thingy. So let's. As much as I like that boulder, I want to talk mostly about boulder number 4, because during the live stream, Tyler and I were looking at it, and it's like even the starting move looked hard, man.
It was hard.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It took a lot of like small tweaks to the movement to make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just before we got on the live stream, you were talking to me about the intricacies of that last go. I want you to give the folks at home just a little idea of like what you were just talking about.
Like, okay, the last go?
The last go after the comp.
Okay. Yeah. So the very last go during my time, I noticed that when I sunk down to generate for the move, my toe was coming off
the bicycle.
The bicycle, yeah. So I just like put more emphasis on sinking down. Like the time I finally got it to sinking down and like releasing the bicycle, and then generating from the hips to like get
to the next hold.
The next hold.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. So like those little intricacies really played into that.
Yeah. So in this move, it wasn't just pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
There's actually a lot more going on than, I don't know.
And how did that last move feel? Because
last move's actually not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a lot scarier, to be honest.
Well, yeah, you're
like
up
hucking over to.
And you're up at the top of that Climbers Rock 45, which is
steep.
Yeah. And she's up there.
It's a bit tall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, congratulations, and
thank you.
Yeah, like I mean, you climbed really well today, and it looked like the boulders went pretty down easy for you. Take care, man. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Don't spend all your cash in one place.
I won't.
Okay.
Got to be a climbing fan to still be watching just to see these two guys wrap up a competition. Like, first of all, I want to thank you so much, Dustin.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. Real. This was really fun.
Yeah, it's I've always talked about this comp as being my personal New Year's. It's getting this comp done, the ecstasy of an excellent boulder comp. I get to start 2018 tomorrow. I love this comp. I love having people like you being involved. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're on the commentary desk. I had a ton of fun, man.
I had a ton of fun too, and even like the comp itself was so good. Like it just, for me, it sits up there with the rest of the Bloc Busters. It was a show. No, I felt some things. They were probably emotions. And the boulders were really good. The climbers were really good. Especially the qualifying round this morning was excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the time to give a shout out to all the setters we talked about, chiefed by Matt Phillips, with help from Nathan Lewis, Mark Lee, Jordan Rock, Jamie Roy, and I think the assistants were Matt Carmichael and Tori Walker. So thanks, guys, for putting on an excellent show. Thanks to the Richardsons here at Climbers Rock.
All
the sponsors who set us up with incredible holds for this event. Cameras are backwards.
There.
And of course, thanks to Either Live, the guys that have helped put this together so we can share this with you. We hope you enjoyed it. I know there was a power outage in the middle of the stream. I know we started late. It's a boulder comp, guys. That's what happens.
Sometimes it happens.
It's going to be better next year.
It's always going to be better next year.
Not just us getting better. You're going to get better at this. We're all going to figure this out. Climbing's growing. We're going to make an awesome show of it.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, a huge part of it is you guys as well. We can't do this unless we know people are watching. So thanks for taking the time to tune in.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, and on behalf of both of us, we're going to sign off. We'll see you in the next coming weeks with more comps. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.